Mm. Let's see. Hello, hi. I just got over here on the page where I can see y'all. How y'all doing this evening? Put my glasses on. Say hello, Nancy. I'm just enjoying myself. It's 4:20 somewhere. We not near nowhere near April, George. Look, save something for later. Looking cute as always. Thank you very much, teacher. Hello, how are you? I'm fine. Driven. You fine? I am fine. But you're driving. You drive an awful lot. My goodness. Lord have mercy. Well, today I came here to just consult the cards. If my energy holds out after I get through consulting the cards, I'm going to do another birth chart interpretation. And if, again, my energy holds out, I'm going to do a birth chart interpretation of Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to rush this. I do. I like it. Clears my mind. Yeah, I can agree with that. It does. It does. Driving really does. It can be very meditative. Okay. Yeah. Just I guess maybe the freedom of it or something. I really used to like driving. Heard me say used to. I can't even afford to drive now. The insurance here in Michigan is off the chain. Can't even afford it. Can't afford $300 to $400 a month just for insurance. That's crazy. So I just sit here so I can figure something out. But yeah, it's the freedom. It's the freedom. I used to jump on the highway and just go. Just go. But I mean, as bad as I want to drive, I can't, because I done had too many situations where I end up looking like the bad guy. And I was almost penalized many times for, like, quote unquote, being a bad guy. It's like the people that are don't care about that kind of stuff, like harming others, or getting a new automobile is just a snap of a finger for them, or they out hustling. They don't have the same. I realize people do not have the same problems. They don't care about the system or abide by the law. I mean, I had one time I had somebody just stop right in front of me on the freeway, dead in front of me. But I was so far back, I just broke down my speed, moved to the next lane. I'm still cruising. Everybody say I drive like an old lady. So I'm doing my old lady drive. Didn't that fool start up, jump over in the lane? I am this how far ahead they were of me. Jumped over in the lane and started up, jumped over in the lane in front of me and stopped again on the freeway in the winter. Did it 3 times. And the last time they did it, by then I got up on them. They do it again, and this time when I go to brake, I'm about to pass them, so I'm too close. And when I hit the brake, I spin out into the side and knock down the gate. They tried to charge me for the gate and said what would make a person stop in front of me. How the fuck do I know? Hell, I guess they was high, had a death wish. How do I know? And so it kept being stuff like that. I realized I couldn't drive. I knew I could not drive without insurance, and so I have not. Once the insurance got to where I could handle it, I was like, okay. And I had too many incidents. Too many incidents. Only one accident, but too many incidents. And I started driving when I was 16, so. And I had a long history. I ain't got time for all this mess. And these people out here driving. I done seen people in their cars smoking weed. They be smoking. Actually, you can smell it. It be pouring all out the car. Or I done seen people smoking crack. You know, all kind of stuff. And I'm like, and I'm being punished with these high ass insurance rates. Excuse my French. Sounds like, and if I being funny, Yanni, I don't talk a lot about gang stalking. Maybe one day, maybe in the next couple of days, I said I was going to do an Aquarius rant to talk about some of these birth charts. And maybe I will talk about the time period in my life of gang stalking and Mandela effects and all that kind of stuff, because it was just, I'm not being funny. I thought that I was in hell for years. I was like, this is impossible. It's too coincidental to be by chance. It was organized. I started keeping a lot of notes. I kept a lot of notes. And that's why I like YouTube, because I always wanted to record my thoughts. I used to like buy tape recorders when tape recorders was the technology, and I would record my stories and stuff and my experiences. And so it was a time period that I said, okay, I'm going to just write it down. And I wrote down everything, dates, times, everything. And I found so many repeating patterns to, again, it wasn't coincidental. I really don't know how gang stalking is organized on a grand scale. But I mean, I had gang stalking as far as neighbors. I had the neighbors from hell. At one time, I had 2 cars, Yanni. And this is when I had a little money flowing through my life. So I've always been very organized and disciplined and serious-minded. And so that's to say I always handle my business practical, getting the oil change was supposed to be changed, tires, tire rotations, whatever. So my cars was on point. Nothing real flashy, but they was on point. I would come home, because I can only drive one car at a time. Come home, the kids be all on top of my car, all kind of stuff. I'm like, hey, hold on, wait a minute. My car could be in my driveway. They gonna be on top of my car. And so I done went and talked to their parents. I mean, to the point in my life, it ends up making people lead me to have to be ghetto. I done had to get ghetto and ignorant, and that'll back that gang stalker down. It's just been too much. I mean, I even got to the point where something was going on. Y'all, I'm going to tell the story and I'm going to get off of it. That I had Geico insurance. Like the period I had those 2 cars. And I caught a flat tire, no lie, every day for a week. Now, mind you, I had new tires on my car. But after all that, I went and spent $800. I said, okay, enough is enough. I went and spent $800 and got me all new tires around my car and shit. Tell me why after I got them, not 3 days passed. Now I didn't caught a flat every day for I know it had to be at least a month. Every day. Every day. So Geico told me they took my towing. They took my towing and said they don't allow towing for cars under 5 years or something. Something crazy. I was like, what? It was that often, like it was ridiculous. So I said, okay. When that happened, I said, I can't depend on Geico no more. They just snatched my stuff. And I can't make it make sense to why I'm constantly catching these flat tires. There's nothing wrong with the car, you know, as far as the tire wheel or anything. I'm not taking the same route. Why is this happening? And it wasn't always happening. Like when I'm leaving from home, I could be I don't know, out shopping somewhere or at the doctor's office. You know, I'm just out and about. And all of a sudden. So the last time it happened, the flat tire, I got it on the freeway. And that's after that, that's when Geico told me they wasn't covering me for towing no more. So I say, okay. So I go to Sears and I get all these tires. I say, I'm going to spend all the money. I got the all-season tire, white wall this, balance that. So about $800. I'm like, okay, I'm tight. Shit, 2-3 days later, all them tires was flat. I was sick than a dog. I was like, enough is enough. Enough. Then I had another car. Somebody put stuff in the tank. I didn't know it, but it was after the fact. The mechanic looked. He said it was like a cake had baked up all in my car, in the motor stuff. It's just been too much. And then another time, this is when I say things is just too frequent to be just by chance, coincidental. Another time, I was over associate's house, and I come out to get in my car, me and my kids, and I can't get out. I was boxed in by 2 cars, like you see in they'll show it. I think like in Paris or London, it'd be something like that, where they tail to tail, or sometimes I've heard tales of like that kind of parking in New York. And I couldn't get out, so I go to the neighbors. Don't nobody know who cars these are. I can't get out. I ended up having to leave my car. I'm not thinking about it. I done left my car over my friend's house for 2-3 days or whatever it was. And by then, nobody know who cars these is. They nice cars. Do you know I could not get my car out? I ended up having to call a tow truck, explain what's happening. By now, I know it's some real strange stuff happening in my life. And it was a fellow, so I explained, some weird stuff going on, and all I want is my car. I've been wearing my car. He said, no problem. I said, well, how we going to do is we going to, like, move these cars. I told the police they won't come move the cars and stuff like that. He said, well, don't worry. I'm worried about it. I'm a professional. That young man, that young black man, like I say, he showed up and showed out. He pulled his tow truck up. He lifted my car up from in between them cars, set it on the car, on the ground, lifted up. And within minutes. So I have a nice day, man. No charge. I was like, oh, my God. But all that favor that he gave me that day was something I would have needed through like my whole 20s and 30s to get me through that time period. I really paid to get through that time period. I paid to get through that time period. And if it ever come back, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm just... Oh, Lord. And I know if anybody on here, y'all like, what are you talking about, Nancy? I'm talking about time period in my life in which I was severely gang stalked. It is real. The only tow cars of a certain age time to get AAA. What? They only tow cars of a certain age time to get AAA. Oh, they do too. Down that was not the case back then. Now, I don't even know. I can't take no more. No way on tires. Watch the movie Commandments. Aiden Quentin actor came out in the 1990s. Called Commandments. Okay, I've never heard of that. I sure know will. That was a horrible time in my life. I didn't know what I was going through. I was praying, man. My houses was getting broken into. I remember one time I left home, and I always kept an okay home. So I left home, and it was me and my mom. We were headed shopping at the local mall, and I said, "Oh, Mom, I said I left something. I don't know what I left at home." So whole point, she had picked me up. We hadn't been gone from my house in like 15 minutes. I came back, opened my door. My house was cleaned out. I had like this, the big jam sound speakers and the stereos and the big TV. That shit was all gone in 15, 20 minutes. And the whole thing of if my house got broken into like 3 times back to back. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. And then I moved to East Lansing. I went on back to Michigan State. I wasn't even in school. I said, I'm going back to school. I can't take this no more. 3 times. Nobody ever saw nothing. I done went through some stuff. I done took so many losses in my life. It's like ridiculous. Okay, well, we are actually here for me to read the tarot, so we can peek into February to see what the card suggests in store for each sign. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I really don't want to rush this evening. If I get through all 12 zodiac signs, that's great. But if I don't, maybe I can come back later and finish up. Because I have noticed that my tarot readings have completely fallen off, where I'm only getting 20, 30 views whenever I make an individual video for each zodiac sign. So that's a whole lot of energy, creating those individual videos. George, you say, remember the Song of Solomon from the Bible. How do you say he is black, but come your daughters from Israel, while they made the Disney movie about him, they made him white? Well, that's Hollywood. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? Is it Dreamer? That's a unique name, if I'm pronouncing it right. It's really cute. Ooh, it's hot in this house. God, I done turned the heat down. Maybe I'm going through something. I am 50. Oh, God. Okay. Let's see what the cards is talking about. So, question. Have you all considered if you will take the VAC when it is offered to you? And if not, why won't you take it? What kind of counter, act will you, or the counter, what do you call it, when you decline? Statement to support you declining. And if so, and for some of you, have you already taken it? Your story, FFG, later tires, reminded me of the movie. Oh, okay. Ben, and that when people talk about in what's this, the conscious community or the metaphysical community, whatever label exists for this supposed to be community, about we bring into existence, we create our experiences. I don't fully believe that. I understand the concept of creating your reality, but not to that extent. No. So part of that I don't even believe. You say cancel Indonesia forever. Indonesia kicked out 2 black women for being black and lesbian. Cancel anything to do with Indonesia's the stories on YouTube on Black Dystopia News. That, you know what? I'm not being funny, George. That is really sickening. I can't even wrap my mind around being biased against somebody about anything, but especially their skin color, when we have nothing to do with our skin color. None of us do. Whether you're white, black, whatever, it does. Indian, doesn't matter. I just can't get it. I really can't understand this place. I've tried so desperately to understand it because I want to know where I am so I know how to participate. Because what's the old quote? When in Rome, do what Romans do. But none of this makes sense to me. Do you know the mind and heart of a person that is biased or racist? What it has to be? How evil or demonic or closed-minded it would have to be. It just, it's unbelievable. some of the things that I guess people do. Well, I'm not gonna say people do. Let me interject here. Um, these birth charts that I'm studying, remember, have been revealing that it's not just humans here, and I've heard that before. I've even sensed it before. There are different spiritual beings that habitate in human bodies, vessels. So we look like humans, all look like humans, but we're not. And so I contend that when you start, interacting with people that's really biased and hateful and racist, that they not human. Because what I'm seeing, that there are certain character traits, thank you, that humans carry that these other spirits don't. And so I find myself at this point interested in continuing to do birth chart interpretations. I need enough birth chart interpretations to be able to form groups, like a group that I can identify as human and what it means or how it's depicted in the birth chart. Then I need a group of people that are actually spirits manifest in physical body, so I know what that means. And then also gods, because I'm picking up on gods too, so I know in whole what that means. Uh, and I think with adequate enough information or data, that I can kind of figure out where we are in this, as far as this realm, and what this place actually is. What it looks like, it is a lot of different entities that have been contained to a realm, but a lot of different entities. But the key to being actually in this physical environment is you got to take on a physical vessel. So we not seeing people for who they are. And I done told you, I done testified and gave all my stories about interacting with other spirits. And I knew in the people I was interacting with, I was like, they not human. None of their behavior is human. Everything from the morphing of their face, or the voices that came out of them. It was all kind of things. It could be voices, smells, anything that came off of a person. It's like they're not human. But I never dove off, like in my 20s, to prove if it was or was not. I just trusted myself and I dealt with them as such. Now I'm at this point in my life where I want to have proof and evidence, and also want to share it with others. So like younger people coming up, when they have these type of experiences I'm talking about, they won't second guess themselves. You say, you lost me for a second, that's cause you're on the move. You gotta be still. They are excuses why they kicked him out is because of LGBT and taxes. Meanwhile, you have Europeans, they're not paying taxes, and he never complained about them for hundreds of years. Let's say it's always something. It says maybe that's the reason a journey she got hit with 2 tsunamis. Could be very very much so. You says okay now. Damn Dreamer says, will I be moving soon? I'm not satisfied with my environment. I'm not satisfied. My environment feels stagnant. Praying to spirit to help me get on my feet. Aquarius life path 9. That Aquarius life path, I don't know. Only person that I've met, oh, I can't say that. I know a few Aquariuses that have a visually appealing life, but it's the experiences that the Aquariuses go through that just be like, can't make sense of them. So even the ones that got the visually stunning life, let's see. Well, will you be moving soon? Okay. Okay, Kevin. Okay. What is it? Will you be moving soon? I think the answer is no. And let me try to explain. What I have for you is the page of wands is in reverse. And so the page of wands in reverse immediately suggests there's a blockage or inability to move forward and or to flow. And that's your primary concern and complaint, and you want to move. Let's see. I'll finish defining this card. So the page is a warrior. This is somebody who will use their vital life force energy to make things happen. So this card does represent you. And you not having the sufficient power or consciousness at this moment to break out the stagnant energy that you are sensing. I want to talk about the card that comes before this page of wands, which is the Ten of Wands. As the Ten of Wands represents all of the responsibilities and duties that you contend with from day to day in order to, kind of live your best life, to keep your life moving forward. And how a lot of the stagnation that you feel is, and the redundance that you feel, is the continuation of what? Meeting those demands of life every day to try to keep your life moving. It's the same thing every day. Like going to the same job every day at the same time, getting off at the same time. I mean, I don't know if you got kids, taking the kids to the daycare, picking them up. Whatever you got to do, it's the same thing over and over again. And that is what helps to create that stagnant, stale energy, because you're constantly moving. You are constantly moving and doing, but you have hit the ceiling, or this pinnacle of like doing the exact same thing every day to it's the norm. You know it like the back of your hand. It's easy breezy. You flow like that. You do have 2 kids. Okay. Kids living. I got 2 kids living with family. Okay. I'm ascended into my unfinished statement. Or I'm not down far enough. Oh, okay. Spirituality, and they are not there or even interested. Right. So, individual journey. Okay, so sometimes, I'm going to jump here. Jump and respond to what you were just saying about you ascended into your spirituality. So, imagine if you had a fresh new beginning. Your focus would be on that fresh new beginning and all of the new, interesting, intriguing scenery that comes with that new adventure. This stagnant energy possibly could be like a blessing in disguise, as you know how to do everything that you currently do like the back of your hand. Again, it's that stagnant energy. You ain't going nowhere. But because you know how to do what you do every day like the back of your hand, because you've been doing it over and over again to a stagnant, it also gives you free time. Free time to do what? Cultivate yourself spiritually. You get what I'm saying? And so you won't be it's like, oh man, what's the Bible? It's a Bible scripture that talk about how God talks to um his follower. Well, Jesus talks to his follower and said, well, God says, I'd rather you be, free, single as you were in your youth. Meaning before you got all these things under your belt you felt like you had to tackle. Because once you got all these things under your belt that you felt like you had to tackle, you no longer had time for what? Him or God. So now you got all these things on your belt that you can handle quickly, resolve easily. You get what I'm saying? So now you're at this point where you have time to what? Be with God, or cultivate your spiritual nature. Now going back, will you be moving soon? I don't feel like you will be moving soon. I don't. For multiple reasons. Number one, we have to keep in mind our current circumstance and situation, the corona and everything that's going on. That's real. So we can't ignore it. So it actually slows everything down. It slows everything down. And then it's this other thing about, just say hypothetically, case scenario, you do have a momentary breakthrough and you're able to get into a new environment. It's still going to be that stagnated, repetitive energy that exists because you're actually going through a phase or season in your life. And this phase and season in your life has you like suspended for the purpose of what? Being able to redirect your energy and focus on other uh, prominent issue concerns or issues. And that concern or issue, as you stated, could be your move to ascend spiritually. So hopefully that makes sense. You say, oh, I'm always be connecting to my mom's house. Always tells me she's not going to be here long. Not going to be here long. Maybe it's some things that you need to resolve with your mom. As far, I mean, if she's not feeling like physically not going to be here long, far as life or death, or not going to be here long as far as she is going somewhere else. She getting the heck on. You know, either way, maybe it's some things that you're not moving. Hi, Asia. Not able to move on and experience the stagnating energy because of some things. Both. Yeah. Because there's some things that you need to resolve in direct relationship to her. So when she does move on the way she chooses to move on, you won't be overwhelmed. And you can have your kids and be okay. So again, it plays back into, if I'm just in case I'm not making it make sense, is that if you are preoccupied with any and everything, you're not going to focus on the most important things. And so if you were to move, it is because it is an important thing. But even in like a new home, you're still going to have that stagnated energy because it's some things that you need to resolve right now. Right now, like you say, example, before your mom move on, however she choose to move on. You got to resolve some issues. It's like you almost going back and dealing with some things from the past that you didn't resolve. Maybe you were a little immature and you wasn't focusing on the serious things of life. You got to go back and handle that. Why should life allow you to move forward unless, life could say, go ahead and just dig yourself a deeper pit to fall in, or life can stop you like it seems like it has based on your question. Life can stop you right now and say, nope. You done dug this pit over here today. Now you go ahead and you finish laying the foundation and clean it up. Do whatever you got to do before we let you move forward. So that when you finally do start moving forward, there's nothing to go back to. There's nothing incomplete. Am I making this make sense at all? All right, you're right. I got a fixed home. So even if I move physically, I'll stop by every day. You'll stop by every day. No, no, I'm not saying that you have to. If you're referring to your mom, I'm not saying that. Let me see an example of what I mean. Okay, let's say you find a house in another month, and you move to a new physical location. And I don't know if you want your kids with you. You got your kids in your house. Maybe you talked about your mom maybe not being here long. What is it? What business maybe like you and your mom have where you're connected together? Maybe that needs to be severed. An example could be like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like my kids are adult kids and they just starting to get on their own. I've always handled and this is a lame example. I've always handled all the health insurance, life insurance, payments, this and that. They never had to do any of that. I did all these things. I earned all their business. All they had to do was live and be free. So in order for them to fully begin to live their for real adult life, they have to, that part has to be severed or separated. But thus far, now mind you, my kids ain't young. I mean, real young. They ain't 21. My kids is like 25, 26, 27, 30. But yet I still been paying the insurance and the phone bills and the da-da-da-da. And they've been going off living their best life, turned up, talking about they grown, telling me to mind my business. I am minding your business. You know what I'm saying? This time, they're a little older now. And soon and very soon, I'll be gone. one way or another, depending on what I choose. Now it's time for me to start dissolving my attachment to them. But they got to be proactive in it. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, I'm not paying your life insurance no more, here go your policy. Here go all your stuff. Your payment is here. I actually did this to my daughter the other day. Your payment is on this day, and it's this much. Do not miss it. This is how much cash value it got on it. You see what I'm saying? Finalizing stuff. You know, so you can be your own person. And then once, imagine that, keeping with that example, once you're your own person, that's when the energy starts flowing. Using my kids as an example, now the energy starting to flow. Mama done gave me my life insurance policy, my health insurance stuff. I got to make the payments. There go that new energy flow. I got to get out here and figure out how to get some more money. Or I got to rebudget. There go the energy flow. Or the stagnation dissolved. You get what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing I'm talking about. So I don't know what kind of attachments you and your mom or your family may have. But it's, you know, resolving those issues. You know, like you say, your kids are with your family now. What is the issue, or what is it that you need to resolve so that if you desire to have your children back in your life, you can. You know what I'm saying? That is that right there. You have to dissolve whatever that issue is, or those type of issues, and then that stagnation in sense is going to get up and it's going to leave. Hypothetical case scenario, you get your kids back. Now, you every day you're getting up making cereal. You got to wash dishes. Mother sucker's going to be getting on your nerves. So the energy begins to flow again. Then you got to take them to school, homeschool, whole new energy flow. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, it just depends again what the connections are you have these important people in your life, or vital people in your life, and how you know, need to sever these connects so that you can move on and have that energetic flow that you would like. Hopefully that made sense. I don't know if that made sense or not. Hi, Warrior Light. I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm fine. I'm hanging in here. You gotta fix home. Amen. Thank you so much. You're welcome. The shadow works never ends. The shadow works never end. Don't let nobody fool you. The shadow work never ends. He says, will I ever move with my sister? We are so different. Will I ever move with your sister? Okay, I'll consult the cards to see. You say, let me finish reading the chat though. She always puts pressure from young age to be breadwinners and take care of my siblings. I'm middle child. You know, as a mom with multiple kids, I have 5 adult children. I have told each one of them to take care of each other. You know, and I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but as a person has lived so long and you've seen, you know, the state of the world, you realize that nobody really loved you. You know, nobody loved you like mama. You know, you're fortunate enough to have a mama or a father that loves you. And the next people that might love you a little bit is your siblings. You know, y'all basically come from the same place. So if by chance your mom or a parent or myself who should perish or go away for whatever reason, we feel like we need to know that y'all gonna have each other back no matter what. You know, because if you expect the world to be caring and supportive of, how can I say that, of another person, you may very well much be mistaken. If you can't buy the respect, the love, and the care, most likely you're not going to get it in this world. And so she just want to make sure that she probably ain't just saying it to you. She's probably saying to each one of y'all. I don't know how many of y'all is. I know I do. You better take care of that one. Or you better resolve the issue. Because I know that, and then this is the thing. Like, even if I'm saying it like to one of my children, remember I'm saying it to all of them at different times. But say one, I know one probably feels like I say it to her and not the rest. You know, I'm saying it because what if it's that one that always feels like I'm saying it to her, putting the pressure on her, but in actuality, she ends up being the one that needs the help in the long run. Well, she don't know it, but I understand it to all of them. Y'all take care of each other. You take care of each other. You're responsible for each other. You know what I'm saying? So if say hypothetically this one I'm always putting the pressure on seems like seemingly she the one that need the help. Or she the one that gets sick one day and go in the hospital. I don't feel like, and I know this, you can't let your people even go in the hospital, especially if you're black, and not be there with them. You can hate the hell out of them, but you better show up and be mumbling and cussing them out under your breath. You know what I'm saying? So, or it might be a day that she ain't got enough food because maybe she lose her job or some unemployment, some crazy pandemic happened. You better go feed her. I don't care if you don't like her or whatever. You know, so it's that kind of just making sure that y'all have a support system no matter what. No matter what, until you understand, you know, just do it because mama said do it until you truly understand why mom wanted you to do it. You know what I'm saying? But again, we live in some difficult difficult times in which we have been cultivated to be more self-interested and self-focused than anything else. So I guess you can't argue against what's popular, what's popping. And that child that feels like I put a lot on her is the middle child too. And she don't know I be having a baby hemmed up in the corner. My baby 21. I got twins. Hell, you better take care of them. They all get it like that. The oldest one, it just be at different times. They don't know it. They say I play favoritism, but they don't know who I'm playing favoritism on because I don't like none of them. So, what happened to those cute little kittens used to have? They got gone. Found homes for most of them. Got one. And one, my kids were supposed to have a house for that when it is grown up. And guess what? Got out the house and now it's pregnant. I'm supposed to hand it into the shelter February 14th. I mean 4th. But I don't know if they're going to take her because now she's pregnant. I live in sanity. But I got rid of that big dog. That pit that I had. Loved her. Took her to the shelter. Nope. Nope. Gorgeous. Hopefully she get a home. I'd have prayed to God on behalf of her. I'm not doing it. I'm too old for all that. Fighting with a dog. I hope you guys don't eat them. I don't want to eat, and that's another reason I want to get rid of the cats. Because in case food run out, I don't want to cook no cat. And Lord knows I'm a carnivore. I will. Get rid of them right now. So I'll be forced to be a vegetarian. I'm not playing, George. I'm serious. I'm so serious. I asked myself that, Nancy, if there was ever a food shortage, would you eat your cat or your dog? I might. I don't know. I tell y'all, I don't know. The shadow work is never done. But then I always used to joke with my kids. It's the things that people joke about you got to listen to. I don't know what we was talking about, but I said, oh, if anything ever happened, make sure you eat me. I think we was watching maybe The Walking Dead one day, and the people was eating each other, and they end up eating somebody that had been bitten by a zombie but hadn't turned to a zombie yet, and everybody freaking out because they thought they might turn into a zombie for eating a person, you know, that they didn't know was bit by a zombie. And so anyway, whatever it was about in a joke, I was like, well, y'all feel free. You know, if anything ever comes to that right extent, go ahead and eat me. You know, I'm good eating. I'm good eating. I'm seasoned up well. Got a little fat here, a little lean here. My legs real lean and tight. The arms got a little fat. You know, enjoy me. And I really mean that too, to some extent, because I done ate everything in this earth. Everything. And it has been good. The duck okay. The chicken is great. The beef is awesome. You know what I'm saying? And since life has fed me, I'm willing to feed life back. I'm willing to feed life back. Matter of fact, I follow this lady. Her name is Caitlin. I can't remember her last name. Here on YouTube, her name is Caitlin. And her channel is called, what's her name? She's a funeral director out of California. What's her name? Her channel. Where is it at? I just love her. Caitlin Doughty, Doughty. Ask a Mortician. Ask a Mortician. Love her channel. And she campaigns for healthier, you know, death process and bereavement process and burial and stuff like that. And I love her channel because I don't like the traditional, what has become the traditional funerary setup. And I might have a morbid personality, but y'all gotta remember, when I first went to school, I went to be a mortician and got locked in a what you call with the deceased, and college prank didn't go well into that. Okay, so I do have somewhat of a morbid sense of humor, um, but I don't believe in what has become the traditional funerary, setup and process. I think that's what I told my kids I won't, but I know my kids is crazy, and so they're probably not gonna listen to my last wishes. But I want, at the time that I leave here, I don't want, like now, y'all see me, I don't hardly wear weave. I might put ponytails in. That's because my hair done about fell out since I got older. But I've never really been a weave person or makeup person. That's why I couldn't be a hot girl, because you got to stay in character 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I'm not that kind of person. But so anyway, I'm saying I don't want no, as soon as I die, like I told them, find the clippers in the house. If I got any weave in my hair, pull it out, cut it out, just cut me bald. If I got a press on or something, pluck it off. Get the eyelash, if I got anything on, take it off. I don't want nothing. And all they got to do is wrap me in the sheet. Find me a white sheet. That's all I want was a white sheet. And if it was legal by law, they go out in their yard and dig up a hole in the ground and put me down in there. And I'll be happy. When I say I'll be happy, let the earth eat me. Let the earth worm eat me. Enjoy me. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy me. Because I know I done feasted on quite a few cows and pigs and chickens. They've been good. They've been good. Now I plan to be good back to the earth when it's my time. And if necessary, I'll feed the people if, it's a food shortage. I'll feed them. So anyway, that's something that I want. I forgot I was talking about. I was just rambling. He said, I'm trying to leave the nest with my own ducklings. My kids are just breaking out, leaving leaving the nest with your own little ducklings. They just leaving out. It's not their first time moving on their own. They have attempted to, and they came back. And now I think, well, when they first left, they left to go party and hang out, tell me to kiss their butt and mind my own business and stuff. So I knew that wasn't going to last long. But now they are starting to have families, of their own. They fallen in real grown-up love and those kind of things. So I believe this cycle, this time is going to be their real stand. You know what I'm saying? So my whole point is, it does take time to establish your own. We're living in a time period that the cost of living is excessively high, and the demand to maintain your life, a lifestyle, not only for you but those up under your care, is tremendous, and it can be very stressful. So you have to take your time, because you don't want to move into something that you regret, a neighborhood or community that you regret, or it's a lot to take in consideration. And due to, I think, more of media, that the younger generation do not comprehend or probably even think about how demanding transitioning on your own is by yourself, where you bear everything, all the responsibilities and duties of maintaining lives and home and lives, literally being responsible for somebody else's life every moment. That's a lot. And so it needs to be, you need to kind of go through the process and be conscious. And I say that because when you're looking at it on TV or in magazines, they make it like everybody living a life like you pop out your parents. We don't grow up at 17, 18. You out the door, you popping, and you got a condo somewhere, and you still rocking Timbos and what else out here? Tommy Hilfiger or whatever else, and you got your Prada purse. That ain't how it works. Now, I know women, I've known women throughout my life that still had the Timbos, the Prada purse, or whatever the stuff was called, the Gucci here and there, and their kids many times were not taken care of. And then there were others that them and their kids and spouse, whatever, fly. But what was they doing? to acquire these things became the question, you know. So all of these are hurdles that you have to overcome and subject matters that you're going to have to, you know, come to realize and make a decision on. Me, I made the decision. I was not going to sell my soul to the devil. I was not for nothing. Um, I wasn't going to do it. And I also realized that I just wanted a decent home. A decent home. I told y'all the story before. When I say decent home, example, I told you time period when I did have a little more money running in my life than I do now. I was younger, stronger, could do more stuff. But I was like, I'm going to buy me like the most amazing vacuum cleaner. You know, for my home, I like keeping a decent home, at least when I was young. Don't look back here. Uh, and so I went to Best Buy and I bought this vacuum cleaner for $400. And it had a sensor on it. And I told y'all I was vacuum. As long as the light was on, it means it was picking up particles. That goddamn light never went out. Excuse me. And one day I vacuum, and I just let it stay in the same place. And I just look. It wasn't a whole 2 weeks, maybe a week. I don't even remember now. And I got, it was a week or 2 weeks. I'm taking this mother sucker back. And I took it back and I spent about $109 on, what's that vacuum I got now? Because I ain't bought another one since. It's a Bristle something. That Bristle for $109 was the best vacuum cleaner I ever bought. And I broke down recently and bought another name brand, that Dirt Devil Bud crap. But anyway, so after that, I used Bristle for all them years. But I'm saying, you know, I was going to live my best life, buy the high quality this and that. Yeah, that Bud. So I just try to keep a decent, decent house now. But I say that because many young people want to come out and they want the, you know, crystal chandelier, whatever you into. I don't know, the feng shui, this and that, and not to say you can't have your best life if you can afford your best life without selling your soul to the devil. Then you can do that. I don't know if I'm making sense or not. I'm rambling, so I'm supposed to be reading the tarot cards. He's like, hello, you had to stay in character. That was, I couldn't do it. My associates throughout my life would get angry at me. Like I'm the kind of woman. I remember I stayed in this house because I've always been a renter. Now everybody else I hung with owned their houses, cars. I mean, they ride. What was the name of that thing? It was the craziest thing they pulled out on the street, Hummer. You know, so everybody riding their Hummers or their Vets and stuff. Here come me, my little. People couldn't stand me, and I thought I was cute. I would ride y'all with my little cars. But I'm the kind of person, so I stayed in this house, and it was this Arabic couple across the street from me. And the Arabic father, I don't know, he got mad about something. He set this lawnmower on the front lawn. He was throwing it out. So I'm in my window, I'm nosing. I'm like, oh, okay. I forgot that man's name. So I went across the street, knock on the door. And so I'm talking to the, the couple. And he's like, take that thing, da-da-da-da-da. I didn't want it, it's junk, da-da-da. I said, okay. So I take the lawnmower. That's why my associates, I'm just a different breed than they are. This is things they would never do. Number one, they would never take nothing out the trash. They ain't gonna go knock on the door and ask the neighbors for their trash. That's me. Maybe because my brother was a garbage man. I don't know. Go across the street. I get the lawnmower. I bring it home. I'm sitting outside. After I bring it home, I go in the house and I had some overalls, like Farmer Jack overalls. It was summer, so. And just imagine me maybe about 100 pounds smaller than this. So I got my little overalls on, my little A-frame on, and I'm sitting there on the walkway in front of the house with my tools. I done got my little tool. I'm the woman with the tool belt. I got my little tool belt. I'm working on it. Like I know what I'm doing. Somehow, some way, I always knew what I was doing. Shoot, start that motherfucker right up. I'll get out there, cut my grass, because I ain't have a consistent man. So I ain't waiting. I'm not the one that wait either. Cut my grass. And so my friends and stuff will ride up like, number one, I think I kind of beckon men to, they say I was masculine, but I don't think it's so much that I was masculine. I just knew, you know, I had to do what I had to do. I didn't want my grass long. You know, I wanted my grass, what about, 3 inches so it looked like carpet. That's about it. You know, I know how I wanted to live. And so if wasn't nobody else willing to do it, or if I had to fight with my significant other to do it, then wasn't no reason to have a significant other. Wasn't no reason to fight. I get out there and cut it myself. So now I got a new lawnmower that worked perfectly after a little tinkering. So I get out there and cut my grass, and the men will come back because what is it? It's time to roll out, do what hustlers do, which is get out there, basically make some money, to buy more stuff, to sustain a quality of life, particular quality of life, and to showboat, show off. Basically that was it. So they come pulling up, ready. Nancy, ready to go? I'm cutting my grass. I'll be ready later. I'm doing this. And so I think what ended up happening as far as why my relationships dissolved, different types of relationships, when it came to men, the traditional role was that men didn't let women do that, And I'm 50, so I was born in 1970. So I was influenced by the older generation. So that means my peers as well were influenced by the older generation. So they know this too. You don't let no woman get out here and cut no grass. This your friend, this your sister, this your cousin. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But yet they most times wouldn't do anything. Because they was what? On the road to go hang, to make that money, to make that run, do this, do that. I'm sitting at home. I'm not doing nothing until my house in order. I'm not doing nothing. I don't care what it is until my house gone. I mean, in order. And I'm not selling my soul to the devil. That was something that I, decided along the way. I'm not selling my soul to the devil. No, I'm not doing that. And so when they would, the men would pull up like, you real masculine. That's what ended up being the final result. You real masculine. And I'm okay, yeah. I'm a just keep ignoring my house, knowing I like a particular quality of life. Hello, mermaid. How are you? And no. And so but rather than them getting out and not focusing on whatever activities they did to sell their souls, instead and take what I would deem more righteous and the older generation would deem is more righteous, like go ahead and help sis or cuz or my lady friend cut her grass and beautify her house. Okay, well, that's what you gonna do. I'm gonna go roll and do what I do. Those activities, then sell my soul to them. I'm gonna do that. Okay, and then the ladies come, and then I'm sitting out there out there working in some damn overalls. And then mind you, now these are just some fake press-ons. My fake physical nails, even when I was here on YouTube, first couple of years, I think my nails was this little, physically this long. And so they would come, and I remember one time working on the car, I'm just all over the place, and my nails was broke. But these were my nails, so I would have to go start all over, all over. It'd be, we'll say, 8 long, naturally long, and one cracked or cut because I'm cutting grass or doing some mechanic work or doing some plumbing work. And so they ride up like it's time to go, and they come, and could you imagine somebody here stand up on top of their head, fingernails chopped off, paint, just not in character. Not in character. And they would wait there and they would get mad. Mother sucker. They would be mad at me about that. I couldn't stand character. But nothing. And stuff. And then another thing, it was like, what will you do? I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna do Hillary Clinton's birth chart. And I'm giving an answer way about hers somewhat. But it's like, what will you do in order to succeed? To be important. What will you do? Like I said, when it came to the more street life, I gotta watch things you say. I'm more of a street life. Hi, Juanita. How are you? It depends on what tier you're on. I did do a video talking about that before. Determines what is expected of you. And on certain tiers, you're not supposed to break character. It's supposed to be, it's you. It's you. Even though that was me, this is also me. Me, what I hear is me. I done did a few videos, a butt naked meditation video. It's still me, no matter what. So, like, for instance, what will you do to, like, be in the in crowd? Like I was talking about when my nails were naturally long. It cost me about $80 at least every 2 weeks when my nails was long. $80. So we're talking about at least $160 a month. You know, unless you was to access somebody else that was a part of that tribe, you know what I'm saying? Might be a little cheaper. So you're talking about $160 a month just for nails. We're not talking about hair. And I ain't talking about no $20 hair like this little stuff. I'm talking about hair range of between $100 to $600. Ain't no job. I ain't being funny that I know out here. Even people being managers and stuff, that earn that kind of money. You know, even people that work for the system, they not really making that kind of money after they pay their mortgages and car notes and insurances and stuff to be, you know what I'm saying? That's why you always hear about people you hear on TV about people that's selling prescriptions. Why? Because people not really making that kind of money. So they do their side hustle. Or they sell the auto insurance, or I don't know, they selling, guns or something on the street. That's all to support that lifestyle, or drugs or something like that. So I was like, I'm not willing to do what I need to do to not ever break character. You know, always my thing glitching. I'm trying to talk nice, YouTube. I ain't saying nothing wrong. You know. And so I chose to set, and I set, and I set, and I ate, and I set, and I set. We would be a good match with your masculine energy, your feminine energy. We would balance each other out. I don't know about that, George, because I think most of the men I had that feminine energy, and I might have to F you up, George. I had to F them up. I might have to F you up. I want us to stay what's this, YouTube friends? I just have not found anybody I match with. Not at all. Good, you love your story. You sound like me and how I take care of my home. Like, I take care. I'm like Fred Sanford. I don't know if y'all know who Fred Sanford is. This is my castle, you know. All this junk this is my castle. Yeah, I take care of my castle a little bit to the best of my ability. And hello, I hear you, girl. Yeah. So I made my choices and I lived this here life out. And it is some things if I could, and then I also realized that it's really nothing. Now that I look back and I've had, the experiences that I've had in my life, I look back and I don't see anything that I could have done differently. And I don't see anything now that I would choose to do in order to make my life the way I would prefer it to be. Like, it's still no hustle that I can say I will do. It's still no part of the system I say I would work for and wouldn't end up in trouble. Because I'm the kind of, when I work for something, I'm going to find a loop to help the people. I don't care about the system, I don't care about the system. I follow the rules, but I also know there are always loopholes. And if you ever want to understand what I'm talking about about a loophole, you can take a regular deck of playing cards. And there are 4 suits in the playing cards. It's the hearts, it's the diamonds, it's the spades, it's the clubs. And each of those cards have a corresponding meaning. I don't know if you've ever heard this quote before, the statement before. You could stack the deck in your favor. That's to say stack the energies of the cards or the message in the cards in your favor to reflect the kind of experience that you want in your life. If you were to try this, learn the cards and position them on the board and say, okay, I'm gonna lay out this punnet and this is going to be my life. You know, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to stack the cards in my favor. No matter what you do, there's going to be a loophole. And that loophole is where the negative energy come in, and you cannot in any way totally rid your life of like a negative experience or negative influence. That's the loophole. And then say hypothetically you go in the opposite direction and you lay a whole pattern out of negative energy. There's no way it could be a complete pattern of negative energy. It's impossible. It's this loophole. And in this loophole is that positive energy that's going to come in anyway. That's what I'm saying by loophole. So no matter what you do, there's always the opposite that is present, and it's a loophole somewhere in there. And that loophole is what will get me in trouble whenever I work for any establishment, because I'm going to find a loophole in favor of the people, because I know it's set against people, so I know it's a loophole in there for them. I'm going to look for it, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to apply it, and they're going to get rid of my behind or charge me with something because they can't get rid of the loophole. I don't know if I made that make sense. That's a secret. Was a secret. I just told it. So I don't know. You can apply that to anything in your life. It's always a loophole. Yep. The balance is always there. I hope y'all paying attention to that dualism sign. What is that thing called? I done got so old. Mermaid just said it's always the balance there. You turn anything inside out. Yep. So I know I'm supposed to be reading the tarot cards and the star ranting. On the star ranting. Yin and yang. Always yin and yang. Always the yin and yang. I try to, I don't know which is which. Yang is masculine, yang is female. I think. I don't know. I be forgetting. The more I try to remember, the more I forget. So let me see. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really like likes. I saw one of my videos had 20 likes. Oh my God. That felt wonderful. Had 20 likes and 1 or 2 dislikes. Same. They're both the same to me, but thank you. So let's rock it and do it again. Click the thumb up or thumb down, no matter what. It just I really feel like you're interacting with me over here at the Angels Fly Tarot and more. If you're ever interested in ordering your own personal tarot reading, feel free to do so by contacting me by email. My email is canangelsfly1@gmail.com. Let's see. Okay, I'm about to read these cards now. And I've been on here about an hour. Oh my God, it's so hot to me. Okay. What time? Oh, it's just now 9:30. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. Do I have enough space? Aries, Ace of Cups in reverse. A blockage or inability to move forward on that which you feel like you need to attach to in your life to have a sense of emotional security and or stability and or a support system. Okay. Let's see. Taurus is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a representative of course, you, Taurus, as well as your as other earth signs, which are Virgo and Capricorn. This is the energy of being able to actually pay attention to what's occurring in your environment in order to be able to determine what you need to do or what actions need to take place in order for you to move forward and build, create, and or sustain something in your physical world that will offer you a sense of physical and worldly security and stability. All right, Gemini, the Temperance card. And I'm coming back. I'm just laying out a Punnett square right now. Here is Gemini Temperance. It's like being able to be in a place where you calm and cool, you know, when some of life challenges go to raging and stuff. So it's the Tempest card. Just staying calm and cool and balanced. All right, Cancer. We got the 8 of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands talks about a partnership. that you're actively involved in. The partnership can be professional, personal, or intimate, and how in that partnership is either you or the other has no interest in moving the partnership even further or along or to the next level or something like that. Let's see. The next card is the Nine of Cups, and this is for Leo. Leo, the Nine of Cups represents your wishes, your dreams. Oh, man. Being a focal point for you in the month of February. What's after Leo, y'all? Virgo. Virgo is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles suggests that Virgos will be attempting to balance something like home and work, or small social circles, like dealing with your siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, people from your neighborhood and or community, versus some social construct you might uphold because you work for them, or dealing in a political party or a religious sector, just trying to balance it, and or you may be trying to balance something in your physical world in order to what, build it, sustain it, or create it. Like, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? You may even have to pick one thing over the other. You say, have you done no? I ain't did nobody. I just been on here running my mouth, Aquarius ranting. They 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 made me do it. They made me do it. Look. After Leo, no, after Virgo is Libra. Libra, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, pointing back to the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles talks about your immediate environment and the company that you keep and what you're actually working to manifest, build, create, or sustain. You may not, come February, be in a place where you feel quite content, or that you feel like you have all that you need in order to live your best life. And mind you, after I do these, I'm going back and I'm going to focus on each zodiac sign. I just want to give each zodiac sign a little bit of something. Let's see. That was Libra. Libra. So after Libra, Scorpio. Scorpio, we have the Page of Swords, which is the young, youthful, inexperienced energy with the sword. Can maybe in the month of February, some Scorpios might be a little crude or rude to another. Very short. I kind of feel very short. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Short-tempered, or just cutting at somebody uh, in response to whatever they are demanding of you, saying to you, causing you to feel. So you just kind of reactive, it seemed like, in February. After Scorpio is Sagittarius. That's number 9. Sagittarius, you have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a warrior who wants to move out and campaign and work for the opportunity to build, create, sustain, or sustain something in your physical world. You're really trying to go somewhere in the month of February. After Sagittarius is Capricorn. Capricorn, your card is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups suggests that you're paying attention to your environment and all that is in it. And it seems like in the month of February, Capricorn, you are connecting to that which you feel like you need in order to have that sense of physical, worldly security and stability, like you have a support system, and or you are like opening your arms up to something or someone that needs to be supported, and you are that support system. That's interesting. Who? Capricorn and Aries. Y'all's reading for February is almost opposite. Aries, you don't even have the urge or the opportunity to make the connect, where Capricorn, you're actually making that connection, either gaining that support or giving that support. I just wanted to point that out. I'll come back to it. Since I'm on the subject of emotional support, or having support systems, or the state of the home and family unit, Leo, you also have the cups, and it's the 9 of Cups. So what have you, Leo, been hoping for as far as a support system? It almost seems like for many Leos, it's something in particular you feel like you need. It just depends on which Leo you are. Let me get comfortable. Leo, you are. Maybe you're a Leo that say, I feel like I will be more emotionally secure if I had a significant other. This is your wish. Or you could be a Leo that say, if I had a job paying me a little bit more, I don't think I'd be worrying so much because I could pay my bill. I need to attach to a job that pays me X, Y, and Z. That's the kind of, emotional support I need. So it's like, what kind of emotional need do you want satisfied that you are contemplating on? You have been contemplating on trying to figure out a way to, make the connection with that specific thing. Um, I ask this because it seems like for the month of February, there is a theme that exists between some zodiac signs. Is business growth? Right. Business growth. And the zodiac signs thus far that shows this concern with building emotional support is Aries, Leo, and Capricorn. Saying, I need something. I need something. I need something very specific to me. I'll finish in a minute. I know I'm all over the place. Just jumping all over the place. Especially since I don't get, like I said, if I focus on one zodiac sign, I'm getting 20 views. That's from when I started day one, 20 views. So I don't want to do individual ones, at least not right now. Aquarius, your card is the Judgment card. It is now time to make a decision about some subject in particular. Maybe we'll find out later exactly what that is. But February suggests you're going to have to make a decision about something, a final decision, and you're going to have to stand with your decision. Pisces, your card is the Four of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands talks about your immediate environment and what's taking place energetically. Like, what does your environment feel like? Like, when you're amongst your siblings, your aunts, uncles, cousins, or people in your neighborhood, or you're moving through your community, how does it feel? In some communities, you may feel like safety and secure and hopeful, and so that's what the card seems like it's asking about. Still talking to Pisces, and for other Pisces, you may live in an environment that feels a little uneasy, uncertain, and it might feel uneasy or uncertain. Maybe in your community, like example, there have been houses broken into. How do you feel? And it's saying that in the month of February, Pisces will be be answering that question about how do they feel about their environment and or the energy flow, around their environment or the company that they keep, because it's something about Pisces' own personal energy that seems to be disrupted or disturbed. Hopefully that makes sense. Disrupted or disturbed. So, how do I want to move forward with this? Is the direct connects? Direct connects or what? So what if, hypothetically, I'm looking for something, y'all. I'm seeing how the cards want me to read them. Taurus. Taurus, Libra. I think I know how the cards want me to read them. Okay. Let's go back where I was just recently at, talking with Aries, Leos, and Capricorns. Okay. Aries, Leo, and Capricorn. The tarot card that came up for each of you tells where you are along a particular storyline. It's like y'all sharing in the same storyline, but you're at different phases in the storyline. Okay? And what zodiac signs am I talking to now? This might be more of a complicated read, but this is what I'm sensing. I'm talking specifically right now to Aries, to Leo, and to Capricorn. You three are sharing in a storyline in the month of February. And the storyline theme is about needing to have emotional support. The type of emotional support that you need depends on who you are as a unique person. Aries, in the storyline about needing emotional support one way or another, you seem to be at the beginning. You are in a place where you feel like you need emotional support, but you don't know how to get it. And you don't even know, it almost seems like you don't even know where to get it from. In the month of February, Aries, it seems like you might be out of tune with yourself, or not in tune, or not knowing yourself. And let me try to explain what I mean. You don't know yourself in the month of February, Aries. You don't know what you need to soothe your soul. You don't even know. All you know is your soul needs to be soothed. All you know is you need to be comforted. All you know is you need to be calmed down. All you know is you need a place to lay your head. That's all you know, but you don't know where. That's all you know. That's all you know. You have no idea. That's where you are along the storyline. Let me see if I can do this. Because the card's asking for something kind of a little more advanced, I think. We're Leo. I'm going to talk to you now, Leo. Got to put them in the right order, I see. Right? Leo, remember, you, Leo, also the zodiac sign of Aries and Capricorn are sharing in the same theme in the month of February. And it's about needing emotional support. Your part of the storyline seems like mid-drift. This is a place where we get where when we kind of figure out, like Aries don't even know where to tap into seeking the emotional support it needs. You don't even know. But you do know. You know. And so because you know exactly what you believe can offer you the type of emotional support you need, whether it's a mate, some more money, another opportunity, whatever it is, you wishing on it now. You're not actively, doing physically anything, but you're wishing. Like, man, I sure enough wish, if you feel like a mate or a marriage, or having a partner in life is what you need to have emotional security, then in the month of February, you wishing it. You wishing like, man, I wish, I don't even have any prospects. If I just had a prospect, I wish I had a prospect. I wish I was dating. I wish I could get out and meet somebody. That seems to be the phase that you are in relative in February relative to this storyline. Wishing on exactly what you believe you need. Then Capricorn, you're later on on that storyline. You're at the place where you actually can, what do you call it, law of attraction. You can attract it to you in the month of February. So Aries, you have a blockage. You have no idea what you need. You might not even have any, again, concept of what you need or how to alleviate your suffering or your struggling or your Loneliness, you don't even know in February. Leos, you know. Or at least you presume you know what you need. And you wishing on it. But you're not actively getting up doing nothing. Capricorn, yeah, Capricorn, in the month of February, you practice the law of attraction to you. That's what you do in the month of February, and you do so successfully. So, I'm trying. Who I'm going to talk to? I'm talking to these cards and energy. Because they're telling me to read them a certain way. So, as Capricorn is practicing the law of attraction in February, and is doing so successfully. And let me talk about the process of the law of attraction that Capricorn is practicing in February. It's number one, being able to evaluate the environment and all that is offered to you. Remember, you already know what you presume you need. I'm still talking Capricorn, because you're embodying all the energies now. You went through all the phases. Capricorns have been to the place where they don't even know what they need. Maybe didn't even know what they needed at a particular time. Then they was like, I don't even know how to get it. Then you was like, oh, I figured it out. This is what I need. I need that significant other. I need that support system. I need that companion, as an example. And you wish, but no action. Now, you Capricorn, see, you the embodiment of all that experience. You the full culmination of it. You say, okay, I got it now. I'm talking to Capricorn. I got it now in February. I know exactly, or I presume what I need. I know where it is. And now, I done figured out how to get it. You know what I'm saying? How to get it. And Capricorn did so because I paid attention to everything in my environment. I went through the whole process of not knowing, to figuring it out, to, wishing on it, praying on it, and organizing my thoughts and planning. And then what? In February, you actually do so. And you successfully magnetize to you what you presume will offer you emotional support. Hopefully that made that make sense. So who was I just talking to? Aries. Aries, you are just kind of lost in the sauce in February, unfortunately. You got to know what you need. If you're lonely, as an example, what do you need, to help balance you? Is it companionship, or is it, a hobby? That's the kind of discovery that you'll be going through, the process you'll be going through in February, trying to figure it out. What can offset, again, your emptiness or your sense of isolation, or not being emotionally stable or secure. Do you have to join a club or something, or, I mean, it could be anything. Could you just possibly feel hopeless, and maybe what you end up discovering is like, man, maybe I could do some volunteer work, or get out here and serve some sandwiches to the homeless, and, bring hope into the world, because maybe you're feeling hopeless, and needing something, but you don't know what. So what I'm saying in February, you kind of like just lost and don't know, like, where is this emptiness coming from? Why do I feel hopeless? You're going through that kind of phase in the month of February, And again, remember, y'all all, when I say y'all all, I'm talking about you, Aries, Libra, and Capricorn are sharing in a theme and a storyline. So that means, Aries, you're going through a process. You're just at the beginning of it. So yeah, in the month of February, it's going to be probably a little tough. Wondering, what do I need? What is this feeling? Why do I feel complete? But have faith and understand, by the time you finish going through the process, you will have discovered what you need, and you will be able to actually do it. But it's in your time. Now, Libra. Was it Libra? No. I'm sorry, I said Libra. I mean Leo. Leo, remember, you're sharing in the whole timeline and the theme with Libra and Capricorn. So Leo, what am I saying? I'm saying you mid-drift in the storyline. You passed that point where you knew something was wrong. You could feel it. You could senses. You may have felt empty or hopeless, or the world went to hell and you don't know what to do to ease yourself, to comfort yourself. You'd have passed that. You'd have figured it out. You know exactly what it is that you presume that you need. And so in the month of February, you're kind of trying to figure something out. You're more on this side of wishing and hoping and praying and doing vision boards and all kind of stuff like that, and trying to set a plan up, but it may not be crystallizing fully in the month of February. But understand, you two are on a path, and that path eventually will result with you what? Executing the energies that Capricorn represents here. Saying you will soon and very soon magnetize to you what you presume that you need. That's the very same thing that you've been hoping for and drawing your visions boards for. Yeah. And Capricorn, remember I did you already been past all that. You manifest for February. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll try to do better. I've just been listening to the cards, trying to figure out how they want me to read them. I got it now. So let me go to the next card. The next card, who has these pentacles? Here we have Taurus. So this reading is for Taurus, Virgo, and Libra. Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius. I need a piece of paper actually. Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius. Let me talk to Taurus first. Remember, Taurus, the card that came up for you is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles talks about in the month of February how you are, your intuition is heightened. And through your intuitive abilities, you come to see, to understand, or to realize like what you need to work on. I'm talking about your physical world. What do you need to focus on in order to build it up, to sustain it, to cultivate it, to make it grow? Whether you're growing a business or getting healthier, changing your diet, doing time management. You're very intuitive, and you're really paying attention to your reality and pulling all the information from your reality towards to say, okay, well, this is what I need to do to have effective time management. This is what I need to do. Or if you losing weight or trying to get healthy, well, this is what I need to do. You're very aware. You're pulling it from your environment. Let me use diet and trying to get healthy as an example. So how do you pull something from your environment with the Queen of Pentacles to use to help you build your momentum in getting healthy? You could say, well, I'm going into this kitchen cabinet and I'm going to pull them Oreos down. I see I need to take them out and replace them. That's you be using your environment and being able to perceive exactly what's in it and be able to understand the changes that need to take place. Well, you might open your refrigerator in the month of February and you see the vegetable bin don't got no vegetables in it. And so you realize you got to do something because your mission is what? To build or grow your a healthy regimen or diet. So that's kind of what the Queen of Pentacles represents. Remember, you're sharing in a storyline. So I guess I should have read the beginning of the storyline. Huh? Okay, I'm still listening. The next zodiac sign that is a part of this shared storyline is Virgo. I should have started with Virgo. Virgo, in the month of February, as mentioned, you're going to be attempting to balance some aspects of life, whether it's work at home as an example or something like that, you or another. You're just trying to balance it. It may come to a point that you actually have to pick. It's you or them. It's work or home or whatever the case may be. In connection with Taurus. Okay. I got to go on to Virgo, Libra. Libra. Okay, now I have to read Libras because remember, I'm trying to get the theme. I'm trying to read a storyline. So you got to be a little patient. This is really an intuitive reading. So now with Libra. Libra, remember in the month of February, your Four of Pentacles in reverse talks about maybe not being quite as comfortable or content in your environment. And that could be for different reasons. It just depends on who you are. And then Sagittarius, it talks about having this eagerness to go out and campaign for something or to attempt to get something off the ground very vigorously, to build something or sustain something in this world. So right now, I'm about to put the storyline in order. The Two of Pentacles itself, building a storyline, talks about having to balance something in your physical world. An example is like home and work. And the Four of Pentacles in reverse, pointing back to the Three of Pentacles, talks about these environments, relative environments. That is to say, home and work. Home and work. Home produces one thing. Work produces another. Trying to balance it. And it's saying that there is an environment that feels like it's, again, you're not content in. Okay, this one is a little more complicated. You're not content in. Or it's unstable in some way, or it's not as productive. I see the storyline. I see. Okay. So let me try to set this storyline up for Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius. Your storyline, your theme is about sustaining your physical world or tending to your quality of life in some way through whatever works. That's the thing. The storyline is like this. In the month of February, Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius, you are going to be confronted with making a choice. Where to focus your energy at to sustain something. That's the same example, home, and all that it consists of. Either you're going to give your energy to home or you're going to give your energy to work and all it consists of. For the most part, every day, each of you try to balance these two aspects of life. These are just examples, home and work, and all they both consist of. But it's one of those stages, one of those areas of life, whether it's work or home, that there's been some type of disturbance or deficiency or imbalance that has occurred. And that area is demanding more of your time in the month of February. This reading right now is for who? Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius. Some area of your life is going to be more demanded on you than usual in the month of February. So where in times past, each of you may have been able to successfully balance home and work, and all they consist of. But again, something happened in one area. It could be home, like a kid gets sick, or all of a sudden a kid got to stay home to be homeschooled. It's then fell off. You can't balance it no more. It's then through the scales off balance. And so you're going to have to turn in February and focus on a particular area. If it's not at home, as an example, then you've been balancing everything successfully. And then February comes, something is going to occur that throws work off. Maybe they ask you to work more time. They ask you to train somebody. It's not the norm anymore. You don't know it like the back of your hands. The balance is thrown off. Now, let me finish the storyline because that's only part of it. Okay. And so it's this instability again after you're trying to balance these two opposing aspects of life that you are compelled to move forward with this Knight of Pentacles in order to what? Manage it, to get it back in balance. You got to get it back in balance. And you do so. You do so by the end of the cycle of this storyline. You do so. You get it. You go. You do what you got to do to get it back in order. Meaning, if you got to reorganize your life to homeschool your child and go to work, you gonna do it. Or if they want you to train more people, you got to pick up more hours. Then you have to do the whole time management and change your schedule at home in order to allow you to stay a little longer at work. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to do so because you have been very effective, I'll say this, in times past with the Queen of Pentacles. And so with the Queen of Pentacles, it suggests that each of you, Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius, each of you, again, have been very effective in managing your lives and keeping them balanced. But again, something comes in unexpected that throws it off. And you're going to rise up to the challenge and you're going to conquer that challenge. Meaning you're going to strike that balance, So I don't feel like you're going to be out of balance long, but it does begin in February. So the Queen of Pentacles talks about how you're receptive, or be you able to refer to what you have done in times past, to have the order that you have had in times past, the way you struck the last functioning or working schedule or time manage or distribution of time, distribution of resources, whatever you had to do to keep life balanced. You did it. And so you look at what you did before as like a referral or a reference, and you're able to use that reference or that past tactic or skill or organizational discipline you had, and you're able to apply it to what's taking place here. Let me see. Okay, I know. Why? Okay. I gotta learn not to listen to the cards all the time. Okay. Remember, I'm reading for very specific zodiac signs right now, and they're not in order. They don't even have any relations as far as modalities or anything. It's just based on what the cards are telling me. And they telling me that in the month of February, Taurus, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius, you're dealing with the theme of, sustaining a quality of life you've grown accustomed to. That's what they're saying. The cards are saying. And you also all sharing in a storyline. Y'all just at different places along the same storyline. Example of what I mean is like Virgo, you at the beginning of the storyline. And what you're trying to figure out, or you're trying to continue to balance opposing aspects of life. Right now, I'm going to offer these opposing aspects of life that you're trying to balance. In times past, these other zodiac signs of Taurus and Libra and Sagittarius were trying to do the same. They're just past where you are. So there's hope. They got past it. So, possible aspects of life a Virgo may be trying to balance in the month of February is either you or them. That's the first house, seventh house axis. It's about the second, eighth house axis. It's about what you value versus what somebody else value and want. Or it could be about the 3 to 9 axis, it's about like your community versus or your elementary education and which you come to know at that level versus higher learning. Meaning somebody could be, you could have a viewpoint about something and your church could put something there. So this is something you've been either way you've been balancing them successfully. But in the month of February, like a major influential institution, a church, a religious sector might say something that throw you off. Like, what do you mean? I'm not supposed to have premarital sex. Oh, what do you mean? The Bible says I'm supposed to take the vaccination, whatever might come up. And so it just throws it off. But remember, in times past, it was like, oh, okay, yeah. You can rectify, like whatever the religious institution said. I'm trying to give you all the variables, y'all, which is complicated. Or you could have been, in times past, managing you and someone significant in your life. Okay, you, them, well balanced, You ain't losing yourself, they ain't losing them. And then all of a sudden, that other person make a demand on you in which they want to, or they're pulling to absorb your energy in some way, and that throws you off. Or they throwing more on you than they normally do, and it throws you off in the month of February. Okay, like what the hell? You know. And for Virgo, again, you're going to work through it. It's just a process. You're at the beginning of the storyline. And so you're going to go through this phase eventually, where you feel uncomfortable in your environment in relationship to that other person or in relationship to that major influential institution that's telling you something new that goes against what you thought, And so you're going to feel uncomfortable in those particular environments or those surroundings or in the company of that opposition. But I can stop because you ain't there yet. You're just in the place where the imbalance is about to occur. The event is about to occur in February for you, Virgo, that throws you off. Either it's you or them. It's either what you already believe or somebody bring you a new belief. Or it's about home and work. What's the other one? It's about doing for yourself maybe or giving to a charity as an example. Or with a 718, I did them all then. So it's something like that. And when this opposition happens and you can't no longer balance or rectify what has been taking place in the past, you and them or whatever the case is, and they throw something on you, it's going to throw you off. That's where you are in February. Hopefully I'm making it make sense. You're going to be thrown off. Like, what is this? You can't make sense of it. You're going to get where you can't balance it no more. Why can't you balance it? Example, somebody asks you for something they normally wouldn't do. And you don't even know how to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be in that state. I don't even know how to deal with that in the month of February. How do I deal with it? You may end up dropping the ball. I mean, you may, again, distance yourself from a person as an example because it's just overwhelming you. It's not something that you can deal with or handle. In the month of February, you're going to, again, have to work through a process. Hopefully I'm making it make sense. Where when it comes to Libra in the month of February, the part of the storyline you are at is a little more advanced than Virgo. Virgo is just to the point where they about to get thrown off. Well, Libra, you've already been thrown off. And now you're coming out of that. It's this place where you've been thrown off. Somebody or something has thrown something at you. And you can't maintain the balance anymore successfully to keep it, move your life forward. Another example, home or work, where now the school all of a sudden they contacted you and said, now you got to homeschool your kids, but you work full time. It's already came your way, So in the month of February, you to this point where you like, I'm very uncomfortable now to try to go to work and maybe leave your kids at home, not knowing what they doing and stuff. And now you're trying to figure out a way to deal with that imbalance, At one time it was fine. You and your kids got up and went to work, at the same, you dropped them off, you went to work, they went to school. After work, you came home, you picked them up, it was balanced, And then when they talk about now, they have to be homeschooled, but you still going into the office. So what are the kids doing at home? You know, you realize that when you leave home for work, you leave it so early, the kid's still in the bed. You call them on the phone, you say, hey, get up and get to your laptop and start your classwork, but you don't know what they're doing. And so that's the kind of process you're going through in the month of February. Like, you know, I'm uncomfortable with this. I'm uncomfortable leaving them at home, as an example. I'm uncomfortable not knowing if they logging on to their school when they supposed to. I'm uncomfortable, you know. Or you may be spending so much time at home, you know, making sure that they're signing on and sitting at the table to, you know, get their schooling, that you might be missing a lot of work, you know. Even if you're able to bring some of your work home, you're not comfortable with uh the level of your work, of the work you're getting done. You're not okay with that, you know. So in the month of February, it's that state of not being quite comfortable or content with where you find yourself. But remember, you're part of a storyline, shared storyline, and so there is growth for you. It will happen in your time, and it will happen. What I'm talking about, the growth that you will achieve, Libra, is directly related to you and your ability to evolve and to grow and to recognize what changes need to be made. The next zodiac sign is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, remember, you're sharing in the same thing, with the same thing as Taurus, Virgo, and Libra. Same thing. And that thing is about building and or sustaining a particular quality of life you've grown accustomed to. You are a part of the shared storyline. You are a little further along in the storyline than either Virgo and Libra. You are at the place where you've already been thrown off. First, you had everything balanced. Stuff got thrown off. You went through the phase of being uncomfortable and have to rectify the situation to gain balance again. And in the month of February, it shows you have gained that balance back. And you are actively doing what needs to be done to rectify that new imbalance. That's what you're doing in the month of February, Sagittarius. You are actively doing whatever is necessary in order to resolve or um, offset that imbalance. An example of how this could manifest, let's go back to home and work, the fourth 10th house axis. Normally, you and your kids left out the house at the same time in the morning. You dropped them off at school, you went on to work. When you get off of work, you come home. You get off work, you go pick your kids up from school, and y'all go home. That was balance. That's how it has gone thus far. Successful, effective, you know, practical. Then all of a sudden, you get a call. The school says, okay, you have to homeschool your child now. Now, everything is thrown off. Because you going to work, you don't know if your kids is getting up, logging on to the school thing portal or not. You don't know what they're doing. And so you feel real uncomfortable. You've already gone through all of that, Sagittarius. But in the month of February, you say, dang, I done figured out a way to offset this instability, to resolve this issue. And what I'm going to do, Sagittarius, this example, I'm going to hire a sitter or a tutor, in-home tutor, that can come in every day. Or how about just live with us? I'm going to hire a live-in nanny, you know, and they're going to be there to get my kids up at 7:30, so they be sitting in front of the computer at 8 o'clock, and they going to make sure they sit there all day. I'm going to go ahead and go to work and do my work effectively, and I'm going to come home at the same time that I used to at 4 or 5, whatever, and my child going to be just got done and be sitting at the table eating lunch. Issue resolved. That's what the process you're going to be going through in the month of February, Sagittarius. Now, Taurus, because you are at the end of the storyline. Remember, you're sharing in this thing with not only yourself, you're also sharing with Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius. And the theme is about building or sustaining the quality of life that you desire. You know, what does it take? And so the whole storyline has been what? Hey, you had balance 1 minute in your world, and that balance allowed you to what? Build or sustain your quality of life. But something goes haywire, and something just gets off track. And so when it gets off track, it causes a lot of discomfort, instability, and it's also threatening your ability to what? Build or sustain the quality of life that you want. And so you go through this phase of trying to figure it out, worrying, being uncomfortable, and then it's that's aha moment, which is Sagittarius. You figure it out. You actively put the resolution or the resolve in place, and then you get to the Queen of Pentacles, which is you, Taurus, and you're back to what? That place of stability. You know, it's a new regimen or a new regimen or a new schedule that works effectively. And you were able to do it, you know, each of you eventually will be able to, you know, do it, what is do it, achieve that balance again because you've done it before. It's not the first time, you know. And so it seems like, to me, it almost seems like a quiz for Tauruses in February. It's a quiz, a pop quiz, a return quiz that happened for you. It may have happened in January, and by February you have it resolved. You've been here, done that kind of, you know, energy, you know, where you again have to offset some instability in your life. It may be annoying, but you're capable, highly capable of doing it. And then for Sagittarius, it's also no, doesn't mean that. No. For Virgos, Libras, and Sagittariuses, it suggests that it for some of you this might be somewhat of a new experience where things are going fine 1 minute, and then the next is like it's just thrown off and it doesn't make any sense, and you have to reorganize your whole life and get started again, you know. So it's really new, especially for Virgos and Libras. It's like, wow, you know, how did this happen, you know, without you even trying to do anything, you know, like, but it's like a training course that is occurring for what's going on out there now, Virgo and Libra, especially a training course, like in development of being able to again like change direction at a moment's notice, all for the purpose of managing your life. This energy reminds me of like basketball players in training, where they dribble the ball from one hand to the other, and they might, you know, all of a sudden push the ball through their legs. They already are able to redirect their energy and direction at a moment's notice. It's like that kind of training for, again, Libra and Virgo. And Sagittarius, you more advanced. So you're far more advanced here. But you're not as advanced as Taurus when it comes to this kind of this test. And so if the Taurus is fully involved in this area, Libra and Virgos are basically in training. Then what are Libras? I mean, Sagittarius in this case. Oh, problem solving. I know this probably don't make no sense. This was a bit complicated. Problem solving under Sagittarius. This is the problem solving. So I believe that in times past, many Sagittariuses may have had a problem with problem solving. Problem solving. That's what that is, okay? You've had problems with problem solving. So this energy that you have been dealing with and are just coming out of in February is like this ongoing, I guess, it's a training, but it's specifically for problem solving. You have to learn how to solve problems, like you got caught up in your development somewhere along the way in your past, you know, or throughout your past life. You keep getting caught up in how to effectively problem solve. effectively problem solve is what is resolved for you fully in the month of February. Now you're to the point where you can figure it out when those unexpected moments, experiences come up, you know. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So who have I covered thus far? I have covered Aries. I have covered Taurus. I have covered Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius, and Capricorn. Okay. So who's left? Gemini. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll do Gemini. Okay. That'll be Gemini and Libra. I mean, Gemini and Aquarius next. Mess around, forget Scorpio. I'm going to do Scorpio first because Scorpio is alone. Scorpio, your theme and your storyline stands alone with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords again represents that young, youthful, inexperienced energy with the sword. That's with ideas, ideologies, communications, social interactions, and someone being awfully immature or lacking experience in these areas. I ain't got nothing to lean it on. If it's nothing to lean it on, if it's nothing to lean Scorpios on, well, that was the theme. The theme is isolated social communications, isolated conversations, isolate or totally unique ideologies, ideas. Because ain't nobody else like relating to you in the month of February, Scorpio. They ain't relating to you. Seem like Scorpios might be a bit temperamental in the month of February. You may feel like you are being ignored or shut out by everybody else around you. And so you may be a little forceful in trying to be heard in the month of February. For the month of February, Scorpio, I expect that you're going to live through quite a few individual scenarios. And I say individual scenarios because many times we have life experiences and we don't see how they all go together. You know, like we might have an interaction with our mother, and then we might have an interaction with our sibling, and then we might have an interaction with our cousin. But it could be a theme that stitches all those interactions you have with them together. An example, it could be a family issue while you had a particular scenario play out with your mama, then your siblings, then your cousin, or whatever. It could be a family issue or something like that. But in the month of February, it's not like that. It's just literally individual issues that aren't linked together in any way. In any way. Again, I feel like in the month of February, you just like don't feel like you're being heard. And whether it's by a sibling, aunt, uncle, cousin, it don't matter if it's a boss, a colleague, it don't matter. Neighbor. Like people ain't hearing you, like you might feel invisible in the month of February, Scorpio. Totally invisible, like what the heck? Ain't nobody hearing nothing I got to say, none of my gripes, complaints, opinions, or nothing. Nobody hearing me. Why? Because they all doing their own thing. I tried to explain their own thing that they're going through, but, you know, it was quite a bit. Number one, but let me give you some examples. Why might a Scorpio not be heard by an Aries or a Leo or a Capricorn? It's because the Aries, the Leo, and the Capricorn going to be in pursuit of connecting, or in pursuit of getting their own emotional needs fulfilled. So they ain't going to hear you. And what you talking about, Scorpio? Okay. Scorpio, Why might a Taurus, a Virgo, a Libra, and a Sagittarius not hear nothing you got to say, don't want to socialize with you at all? It's because something in their life is all thrown off balance and they trying to get it back, in balance and sync. And so they ain't thinking nothing about you, Scorpio. It's like that. They ain't thinking nothing about you. And remember, you're represented by this Page of Swords. And you trying to tell everybody what you think, what your ideas are, what your plans are, what your conspiracies are. Nobody's listening. And because this Page of Swords is young and lacking maturity, that's to say to recognize when somebody else is going through something. I'm saying, hey, in the month of February, Scorpio, you're not going to be recognized as other people going through something that's as important to them as your ideas are to you. And so they ain't going to be paying no attention, but you're not going to be acknowledging that or noticing that. All you want to do is get what you got to say off your shoulder to them. Or you want to share, again, your ideas, your ideologies, or you want to hang out or whatever. Not taking in consideration what they got going on. And because their response is going to be to ignore you or not be available or whatever the case may be in February, you may become a little rude, crude, pushy, obnoxious. An example is like you could text somebody and say, hey, let's hang out. And it might be one of these signs that's trying to gain balance back in their life. Maybe they phone went out. They trying to gain balance. The phone was there 1 minute, communications was fine, and then it's gone. And they can't get back at you. But when you call, their phone is just ringing, ringing, ringing. But the truth is they don't have a phone or it's destroyed or whatever the case is happening to them. And so you may get angry, Scorpio, and then be on a what do you call it, the voice box, talking about what they call it, that recorder, instant messaging, talking about, yeah, people be acting funny when they get their stimulus or whatever, something crazy like that. And then later on, you find out that their phone was down or broke, and now you done left this insane message talking about how they fake, they phony, yada, 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 whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of immature uh, behavior you may display in the month of February because you feel like people have forgotten about you or are not paying you any attention. That's what's going on for you. So what can you learn from that, Scorpio? That you kind of going to be on your own in the month of February. You can do your own thing. Ain't nobody there. Ain't nobody even going to see you. So you can just get away with all kind of madness because ain't nobody watching. Okay, now let's see. The next two, I got two more readings. I won't do this one no more because it was a bit complicated to keep it in order. Let's see. It's Cancer and Pisces. Cancer and Pisces. You are sharing in the thing. Yes, I am. I just know what the cards told me now. I know how to put a better order. Cancer and Pisces. Your theme is about not being able to pursue a passion for one reason or another. Some type of blockage. And the storyline begins with Pisces first. And it says, okay, Pisces, in the month of February, as you experience your immediate environment, you will become aware of the sense or the energetic flow. Like either it's calm and cool energetically, just in it. They call it that, like the ambiance or the energy of your environment. Either it's cool and laid back, copacetic, or it may be hostile or whatever it is. And whatever you're picking up, Pisces, seems like it's an energy that you don't resonate with, that you're not comfortable with. It could be an instability in between the people, restlessness. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean, Pisces. I'm talking about, like, we're currently living in a very, it seems like a volatile period in time, as far as, the United States, this country, and racism, and it's just that hostile, kind of volatile energy. Well, in the month of February, Pisces, you may pick on that kind of energy. You might pass through an environment and like going to a store and a local shopping area, and it's a different mix of people, and it just end up like being the wrong mix of people. And you pick up on that energy, and you be like, oh my God, I'm not comfortable here. I don't know if I'm all right here. I don't know if I'm safe here. It almost seems like your sense of emotional stability, your ability to be at peace and at ease. You know, that to know you can walk around and go where you want to go and it's okay. It's like it's disturbed in the month of February. And I really hate to say that. I be trying to explain how I read the cards. I be trying to explain the extent to which it goes. Usually I'm not very successful, but that could suggest something overall that ends up manifesting in on our world stage in the month of February. Because Pisces, you occupy the 12th house in astrology, and that 12th house represents what has been deemed to or what has been scheduled to manifest in reality soon and very soon. So what am I saying? This energy of an unstable environment or the frequency is in some way, in some areas, disrupted. That could show again revolts, uprises. Um, I don't want to say, but an example is like race wars. You know, anxiety, some just insane instability in society. That, you know, again, you could be out and about. I'm having a wonderful time, you know, in the month of February, and you go out to the movies or show with your companion, and you get out there, and then it's different cultures or groups of people, and something jump off, and all of a sudden you like, you know, we're just having a nice time, that kind of thing. That's what I'm picking up for you in the month of February, Pisces. Will be something like that. That, you know, you just really get concerned about what's taking place, and you question like, am I in the right environment? Can I live my best life in this environment? In this way, something don't seem right here. You know, you may feel like you have to make some changes. And then the next part of the storyline is with Cancer. And Cancer, it talks about the Eight of Wands. In reverse, it talks about the active partnerships that have taken place and not being able to move forward with an active partnership. Now, Capricorn, I mean not Capricorn, Cancer, the partnership that you may be questioning, um, you know, is this partnership worthy of continuing? Should I continue it? It almost seems like you'll be asking yourself, like, is this particular relationship toxic? Is it good for me? Is it beneficial to me? Can it help me? It just depends on what relationship you're inquiring about. You know, it's something that's will be prominent in your life in the month of February, but you asking yourself a question about, is my mate the right one for me, as an example, or is that's the right person to be my boss, you know, or not. You know, I don't know. Let me give you an example, keeping with the current events that are taking place. They're issuing out vax now, the V and the vax, but they're issuing that vax now. Maybe Cancer, you work for in a arena or area where your first line to be offered the vac. And your manager comes to you and say, okay, Cancer, you got to take the vac. And Cancer, you ain't sure you won't take the vac. So you turn to your manager or whatever they call and say, you know, I don't want to take the vac. Let me schedule it a little later. And your manager tell you, you won't take that vac. And I mean, really try to press you into it. Or something like that. And you be like, I ain't sure. I thought my manager, you know, we were, you know, we got along well, we related well, and they would understand that I'm not comfortable with this and give me some time. But this person is pushing me or trying to threaten me or coerce me, and you know, it's like, is this the right partnership? Is this the right person to work under? You know, and so it's that kind of dynamic I see unfolded for Cancer in the month of February. As mentioned, when it comes to Cancer, and Pisces, the theme is not being able to move on forward on an aim, a passion, or desire with full faith, knowing that whatever you need will be added along the way. Interesting. I added that because I've seen it a different way now, or more extended way. That's the theme. Not being able to move forward on an aim, a passion, or desire. We can say comfortably, actually, in the month of February. And the storyline said, hey, for Cancer and Pisces, in the month of February, you know, something is going on in your immediate environments that you're not okay with. It's not resonating with you. And it leads you to pause and to really begin to ponder, can you continue to like live your best life in the environment as it is being presented to you in February? And the cards are saying that both Cancer and Pisces are saying, I can't move like this. I can't stay in this energy. It does not resonate with me. I can't be in pursuit of living my best life if I got to be in a hostile environment. Or I can't be in pursuit of living my best life if I'm going to be forced or coerced to do something that I don't want to do. You know, that's the kind of energy I'm picking up. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, the last two zodiac signs. So I done did Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, and Pisces. Last two, Gemini and Aquarius. Gemini and Aquarius, I say y'all for last because you two have the major arcanas that came up. You have the Temperance card, Gemini, and Aquarius, you have the Judgment card. Okay, the theme shared between Gemini and Aquarius is that you both zodiac signs have gone through some tremendous life challenges. You've either been tried or you have witnessed something fairly severe. And come February, you have to make a decision. Like in order for you to be tried or to witness something, you had to be around it. You had to be in an immediate environment, immediate proximity, involved in it or engaged in it or with it some way, whatever it is. And so, again, you are tried by it, meaning you actually went through something yourself or you witnessed it, and it may have very well disturbed you on a deep psychological as well as emotional level. And, you know, you want to move forward with life like it ain't happened. Or it's just another day in this weird world, you know. But it's not that easy for you. It's not that easy for you. Gemini and Aquarius, in the month of February, you have to make a decision about what you're going to do. Okay, I'm talking to spirit. You have to make a decision about what you're going to do. As far as like making a change in the world through, I hate when people say this. What do they do? How they say it? If you don't pay something attention, it'll go away. I hate that. I hate that. But that's kind of how I see it. You can't feed something. Let me talk to Spirit for a minute. I know what you was telling me to do here, Spirit. I got it. And I fully see it now. I see it. But this part about Gemini and Aquarius is, you know, you make it more complicated. So you have to warn me if you want me to read like this. Now I'm done talking to Spirit. Now coming back over here. This whole reading, I know, was a little more confusing and complicated because I was able to incorporate any variety of signs, zodiac signs. So it wasn't like it was just air or just water signs. It was just a variant of zodiac signs that shared a storyline and a theme. I don't want to complicate it. Now, I'm on the last two zodiac signs. It is Gemini and Aquarius. Gemini and Aquarius represents um, aspects of our society or the field of sociology. I'm trying to make this make sense. Even though I'm talking to an individual, each individual Aquarius and each individual Gemini, I'm also talking to these aspects of society as well in the area of sociology. Gemini represents the small social circle. The small social circle can consist of siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, people from your neighborhood and or community. Those details are examples of what you will see as a theme that runs in most Gemini's life. That is to say, most Geminis have some various small social circles that they run in. They don't usually stay too long, but they social butterflies. Maybe sometimes with their siblings, sometimes with their partners, sometimes with people they went to school with when they was younger. You know what I'm saying? So that's how all of these energies relate. When I say all these energies relate, I'm saying when I could talk about an individual Gemini and also be talking about the small social circle. Aquarius represents large social networks, like being here on a what's this called, a social media. That's a large social network. A religious institution or sect you go to is a large institute. A political party, large institute. So most times when dealing with an Aquarius, you will find them a member of some large sect, a political party, a religious sect, an organization, a club, a group. So even though I'm talking to an individual Aquarius, I'm also talking to about the large social network, of society, the large social networks of our societies. So just groups. I'm trying to convey something. Those dynamics I just shared with you apply to all the zodiac signs. I'm going to let that go. I know I be complicating stuff, y'all. Gemini and Aquarius. In the month of February, the people, I'll use it like that. All that I was describing is to say the people. The people are broken down in sectors. Small social groups, large social groups. The people. The people of what? The United States. The people of the world. The people. Each of us, and collectively, have either witnessed and or participated in some activity that has disturbed us emotionally, even to the extent that it has been a disturbance to our psyche. And the trauma is severe. This is the Temperance card. So it's like, as we continue to move forward and live our lives and have our experiences, we're kind of always on edge, not knowing what to expect. We don't know if it's going to be a Columbine or a massive shooting. We don't know if it's going to be a run on the White House. We don't know if it's going to be another Trayvon Martin or, something like that. We don't, or 9/11. We don't know that. So we're kind of always on edge. This is what the message is for Gemini and Aquarius and the people. By sectors, race, color, creed, etc., etc. All the same. Just a bunch of different titles. So in the month of February, even though we keep a what do they call it, stiff upper lip, that even though we have our game face on, even though we're able to continue to move forward and live life, we are traumatized. That's what it's saying. Gemini represents that person who's traumatized, who's out here in the world. They social butterflying, they exposed to stuff, they traumatized, but they keep moving. That's in their nature. Keep it moving, keep living, keep socializing. That's what it's talking about for you, Gemini, in the month of February. So that's what you've been doing your social butterfly thing, acting like things gonna go away. If you don't focus on them, it's gonna go away. That kind of thing. And then the Aquarius aspect mean like, okay, these little groups cluster. Little groups examples, because it's all a bunch of labels for the same thing. Little groups is like, we call it you might get, I don't know, hate groups, go to cluster. It might seem a bit benign under that Gemini energy when they're broke off into their small sectors. Such as like examples, the KKK, Nazi, what else out here? I don't know. I don't know. Those are the popular ones. That's why I'm saying it. And using them as an example. So all of these groups on an individual basis, but they end up clustering under Aquarius. They cluster and they become massive or big or an issue. When they all become one cluster of hate or bias or whatever the social issue is, and that ends up causing some type of disturbance that traumatizes the people. The cluster. It's saying in February, this is the Aquarius part of it. In February, y'all gonna have to make a decision. Who is y'all in this case? I know it's complicated. Ride the wave with me. Is the people. The people that are about to be clusters and the people that are little groups and the individuals that create these groups, whether they're small or large. The people. The people of the United States and the people of the world. Come February, you got to make a decision. This is still Aquarius, though. So all labels, all the same. All these labels, same thing, Aquarius. You got to make a decision. Because it is time. This is, I got to try to do better, y'all. Whenever I do that, I know I keep saying it, but I really going to put forth a lot more effort. Because this plays back into what I did a live stream. And the live stream was about, let's see, in that live stream. Dang, don't go away. I just remember. It was like opportunity cost loss. Opportunity cost loss is when I talked about that movie Queen and Slim, which was that 6 hour, I think it was that 6 hour long video I did. Where I put all them timestamps. That was 6 hours long. In that video, the astrological energy said that we were drawing near to a time. So February must be that time. The astrological energies back then said we were drawing to a time that we had to make a decision, a definite decision, about if we were going to integrate, meaning work on this world together, because we have a common cause, a common interest is being able to maintain this globe so we can live on it. Otherwise, we die. Either we're going to integrate, or it was about to be cost loss time. Woo! So February is that final period. This is so scary to me. I know a lot of times, y'all, I know that I don't articulate well. It's hard when, for real, you being fed information. I'm hearing stuff, I'm directed, and I'm trying to hear it, feel it, sense it, process it, and deliver it to y'all in an orderly fashion. Very difficult. And so I try to stay on point and just do the readings for individual sign or group of signs. But I know that each of our signs is just a representation of the various aspects of humanity. So all of the readings apply to each one of us. Each one of us across the board, all of them to a greater or lesser degree. So I'll be having complications containing that, that influence. And so it's saying February, that deadline to decide if we're going to integrate and to figure out a way to do it was coming. These tarot cards are saying that February is the deadline for that choice to integrate. If we don't integrate after February, so I guess after February, then I guess it's not the world is going to break. I know what okay, it's called, when I talk about, or you hear about social norms, there are social norms or things that are socially, it's social etiquette, like social etiquette, social norms, help to, the construct of deviance and the judicial system is all to help, what's the word, dang, oh, what's the word? Oh my God. It's to help people. I just used this word the other day. Where it's really getting on my nerves. Um, it's to motivate people to be right. Motivate them to contain or control a deviant nature. It motivates people to be cordial to each other. You know, that kind of energy. I can't even think the word, but it motivates you to do that, and it's for the betterment of humanity overall, because we all living on this globe or riding on this globe, and if we all go crazy and go nuts, all we're gonna do is destroy ourselves and the planet. So it's this I don't know what to call it, not policy, but it's this basically this, well, it's written too, but this I will say this unwritten rule to be cordial. Cordial. People call it kumbaya now. I don't think it has to go to the level of kumbaya, but it must be cordial. Otherwise, we will have this tremendous loss. And so the tarot cards, as did the astrology about 2 months ago, said we're drawing near time, February's the time, to make the decision if you're going to integrate or not humanity, people in the United States, the people. If you're not going to integrate, by February, if you haven't made the decision, I guess our decision will be apparent to that which is greater than us, because we'll be doing it. We'll be doing it. So we've been the answer, yeah, we're going to do it. Then that suggests then February and March. March might be something that is, don't let your imagination run with you, wave with your Nancy. March might be a whole new something. I have to look where I got to look back at my work for March, because I can't say that. Not to say that's going to follow, chronically. Is it chronically? If we don't agree to integrate, that's something going to happen right away in March. But it will soon be coming, because it gave like 2 months since it said that. So anyway, what I'm saying, get back down to this ground, is that Gemini in the month of of February, you will be, acting like ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. That's what you'll be doing. And no matter what you've experienced, no matter how you truly feel, no matter how it has affected your psyche, you act like ain't nothing wrong. You're gonna keep on keeping on. Aquarius, you can feel it, that you have to make a decision about what you're gonna do. Are you gonna like move out of the environment? Are you gonna get some, if you need some psychological help? Are you gonna start a charity? You know what you got to do to offset that trauma that Gemini is ignoring. You got to do something. If you don't do anything, that it's the end. It's the end of life as we know it. And life as we know it, when I say that, I mean that willingness to cohabitate on this earth culturally is going to dissolve. It's going to begin to dissolve, I know, after February. Man, I only seen that suggested in the stars, and this is picking up on that. And mind you, I seen that about 2 months ago, so it wasn't like I was thinking about it. So, anywho, I'm on here just talking and rambling because that's just a bit too much. I can't stand when it get real serious. Real serious. And so what I'm going to do now, because it just did get that serious, now I've read for all 12 signs, a little bit of something for February. Now, I want to look at the overall message. I got the end message. Hey, either y'all integrate, it's coming back again. It's coming back, and this time it's coming in the tarot. Last time it came in the astrology a couple of months ago. Didn't know it was going to come back. So, okay, now I know this end here. Let me go back, look at this story. Maybe I can see how much time we get before something turn up and turn out. I did not have to start with either sign. I just started from the beginning. Okay, and so I can start from the beginning. And Aries, was it saying you need something to attach to? Oh. Okay, I'm about to give you a straight up spiritual tarot reading. Same cards, same message, remix. Get the spiritual meaning of it. I think I say it. Okay. It's saying, okay, I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to Aries first. Aries, remember yours? I need to put them in order, though. I gotta make sure I put them in order. No. Put them in order like that. I'll see. Aries. Remember Aries? Remember every single zodiac sign that exists is a reflection of each one of us. I am Aries through Pisces. I will experience the first house through the 12th house. Aries represents the avatar. This is my avatar. This is my presentation. And you're picking up on my personality. That's Aries. So right now I'm about to read for Aries, for each one of us. It says that during the course of our lives experience. Now I'm 50. I don't know how old you are. So I'm saying, hey, your timeline in life may be a little different than my time in life. But during the course of your life, that you haven't been able to, I haven't been able to, we, the people, haven't been able to attach to what we actually need to experience the full satisfaction that is offered with connecting to something that is truly a support. That's what that means. Truly a support to you. We presume we know. We presume that if we were in that committed relationship, we'd be okay. We presume if we had enough money so that we could buy the natural resources that we need to live our best quality of life, we'd be okay. There would be no more tears. But in actuality, this Ace of Cups coming up at Aries spot saying, you really don't know. This will say this is more spiritual. This is something greater or more knowledgeable than ourselves. Just kind of kicking it with us. You don't know. You don't know. The next card is Taurus. Reading the same cards. Spiritual message. Next card. Next sector is Taurus. Taurus talks about, okay, I have showed up. My soul showed up, manifest in this physical vessel, this avatar, which is Aries. And I'm moving forward. You see my personality. You see how I look. And then Taurus represents, okay, now that I'm Nancy, what do you like? What do you need to sustain your life, Nancy? Well, there are requisites of life. I need food because my body demands me to eat. All our bodies demands us to eat. This is Taurus. So, okay, Nancy, you're going to get some water because you got to eat. You got to drink. You going to sleep. What kind of bed you going to sleep on? You going to sleep on a therapeutic bed, a flat bed, a futon bed. All that stuff is Taurus. So what you need? What you need to help sustain you and carry you through your life. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear me talk about the haves or the have-nots. Okay. So in this position of Taurus comes up and talking to the people is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles talks about being receptive, meaning paying attention to your whole life. And coming to understand exactly what you feel like you need to live a reasonable quality of life. And it's being sensitive to that. So let me try to clarify what this is saying, this reading. It's saying, okay, y'all don't know nothing about what is really needed so that there will be no more tears. Y'all don't know. Which y'all have substituted that absence of true emotional stability, which you substituted it for, was looking around this physical world and saying, well, that makes me feel better. That car makes me feel better. That right there, that food that tastes really good, that makes me feel better. That's what the Queen of Pentacles means. And that's what you go get. The next card in the space is Gemini. And Gemini, remember, represents, okay, now that I'm Nancy, I know what kind of shoes I want on my feet so I can walk around this block and go hang with my siblings, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my people from my neighborhood and community. You know, if I don't want to hang with them, then I'm going to go hang with the people I went to school with. And I might get bored with them and go somewhere else. That's Gemini, right? But it's talking about, again, the people of the world, this aspect of us. You know, how we do that. Anyway, in that position is the Temperance card. And it says, okay, remember, people don't really know peace. There are events and circumstances and situations that lead us to tears and to sorrow. We don't know what it is to be connected to full emotional security and peace. We don't know. So, but we do know how to go get some money, make it rain, try to buy some happiness. You know, and in all of that, everybody, all 7.8 plus billion people in the world, with a 311 million people in the United States, all doing this, will eventually, due to this instability or distance from God, you know, or from the all, what ends up happening is these various storms arise. It's the love triangulations. It's the, I don't know, embezzlement that happened. Because what? We don't know emotional fulfillment. We don't know what it is not to have tears or fears. But we do know how to get out here and get some money. You know? We do know how to get out here and have some good sex, eat some good food. We know how to do all that. And so if we all doing it to the best of our abilities, living our best life, then eventually the storms come. Temperance. And having, you know, we all innocent. I gotta say, we all innocent with the temperance card. We don't know how we co-created to the storms that develop in our world. And so we end up having to find this still place and act like ain't no trauma happened. Act like you ain't just see that bitch knock them windows out or cut that person up or, you know, blow that something up. You know what I'm saying? We act like it. With the Temperance card, we find that middle ground and keep moving forward. Now, that was with Gemini. So after Gemini come Cancer. Now we talking about being at home and being safely tucked away from the world You know, okay, they might be crazy out there, but I'm in my house now. And it's cool here, you know. It's the 8 of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the 7 of Wands. It's okay. So, okay, you individual are tucked away in your house. But even though you tuck away in your house, you still have some active partnerships going on. It doesn't matter if it's a sibling, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a family member, or a spouse. Guess what? They still came out them collection of people that was out there in the world. From the collection of people, nobody knows what peace is. Nobody knows what it is to be without tears and sadness. And everybody supplementing, trying to feel better, going out getting them, you know, them cars and that food and the sex and whatever. Oh, they in their house too. Oh my God. These cars don't be playing no game when you talk to them. Huh. So you don't know. They in the house with you too. They in the house with you too. It says so with the 8 of Wands, you wonder why sometimes you don't even want to be bothered with these folks. Sometimes you wonder, Cancer, huh? You done got real sensitive. They done got on your nerves, huh? You think they done just got on your nerves, but you ain't got on theirs. That's what you think with the 8 of Wands, huh? You don't even want to, you don't want to, I was going to cuss. I'm going to cuss. You want to fuck with me. Okay, okay. Pull back. Okay. And okay, so after that, okay, so you in your house, you're not realizing that the same people that's outside is in your house. You're not realizing the people that's outside is the same people that create your family or your friendship circle or your intimate circle. Same folks, you know, just different titles, you know. And so you don't even want to mess with them. You don't know if you want to carry these relationships on. Next zodiac sign is, okay, Cancer is Leo. Okay, Leo. Now, Leo represents, okay, you came home, you done made it out of the world. And, okay, you don't know what peace is, but you making this happen for yourself. You got your little friends and your family around you. You feeling like what? A king or a queen. You got your kingdom. Your house, your car, your apartment, whatever mix you got. Siblings, aunts, family, companions, whatever. You feeling like a king under Leo. You know what I'm saying? And these are things that you're willing to protect with your life. Why? You don't want to lose them. They represent you. They make you feel good, you know. They boost up your ego. So you want to defend them. What is there in this spread is the 9 of Cups. It is your hopes about what you want to attach to. Is that so? They ask this question. This is spiritual part. Do you really? It doesn't ask a question. It makes us each realize by asking ourselves, questioning ourselves, is this what I really need? Is this group of people that are around me, this kingdom of people, that half the time I can't stand, is they what I really need? Are they allowing me truly a sense of a peace where I won't know no more, no crying, no more pains and suffering, no more worrying? The answer be no. But you're sitting there with the 9 of Cups like, wishing for, how can I say, you're wishing for that which can offer you that true emotional stability and security. The very first card. You wishing for no more tears, no more sadness. You're wishing for. And the only reason that either one of us wish for such things to uh, occur in our lives or to be is because we don't have them. And so on the flip side of the coin, it also has us, again, looking at our homes and uh, what we have to do to acquire them and the people in our lives. Because we know, like we know that none of these things actually make us happy. That's what it boils down to. None of these things are what really, you know, defines who we are. Defines who we are because we're dealing with Leo. Talking about really defining who we are. And not what's it called, propping up our ego with Leo. That's what Leo's talking about. What is this reading talking about? I'm talking about what we're all going through now that we're entering February. This is the overall spiritual story. Overall spiritual story. Ego being propped up. You like, we don't want our ego propped up. So that suggests to me, based on these cards, that we all know that our ego is propped up by material things and fake relationships in this world. We know it. There's some deep stuff. We know it. But yet, with the Gemini energy, we ignore it. We just keep going around social butterfly and doing stuff, acting like we ain't affected. Okay. I see. Okay. Next card, Virgo. Okay. So we manage. Remember, Virgo had the Two of Pentacles. We manage, you know. We wishing and hoping, oh my God, I wish that which is real would come into my life so I ain't got to keep faking the funk, you know. These fake relationships and all this fake material stuff propping up my ego is fragile. And so you be praying with the Nine of Cup cards, wishing. Then we go into the Virgo, and so, and Virgo occupies the 6th house in astrology, and it's got this Two of Pentacles. So, okay, all right, ain't that which I really need ain't coming in for me. No, so I got to keep pretending. I got to keep balancing what, me and these others that most times I don't get along with. Fake friendships. I'm fake to them, they fake to me. You know, family dynamics that's fragile. Keep balancing them, you know. Keep smile on the face, keep fronts, da 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 da. That's what the Six of Pentacles is talking about. And this is the thing with this reading. We're not just talking about, I am talking about each individual, each one of us, but I'm talking about collectively. That's how we feel. Like each race feels about the other, or each culture feels about the other. It goes back, and I started talking about it last month, I think, where race is starting to come up. Class system, yup, in that 6-hour video, and that research, and them stars, and the message, it started dealing with the classes of the world. Let's say rich, poor, the caste system, the races as far as the rat race in humanity for survival. So it's also talking about this. I'm talking about that aspect as well. That's the micro perspective. But right now I'm interpreting this spiritual message on the, what they call it, micro level. So, and so anyway, we manage these relationships, these jobs we don't want, da 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 da, whatever, and we move on with life on to Libra. And Libra came up with the what's that? I ain't even been showing y'all the cards. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. And so the Four of Pentacles in reverse once again talks about our immediate environments, the people that we frequent, the familiar spirits, you know, and how yes they exist. Yes, we co-create them. Yes, we do what it takes to build them up and sustain them. We do all that. But most times it's the Four of Pentacles in reverse. We are not emotionally, we don't feel a sense of emotional, true emotional security and stability in this world. Even though we do all these things, it ain't guaranteed. And we are aware of that. Is what it's saying. Not only, like I'm going to give you an example, I mean on this on a micro level, more of a micro level. Like for instance, let's go with like the race. And I'm not talking about racism as far as a race right battle. No, I'm talking about that they're actually just different races in the world. They're black, white, Chinese, Caucasian, whatever. Them races, right? And we all racing to keep our culture, our race, whatever it is called, alive. Black people gotta stay alive. White people gotta stay alive. Chinese people gotta stay alive. This gotta stay alive. And we're racing to do what? Is what it's talking about. It's talking about we see this go back long time. Now the way, how do we sustain our lives? We have to eat and drink, sleep and awake, urinate, defecate, them bare basics at least. We gotta have a shelter to shield us from the weather. So it's going back to the very, very basics. We're racing for that. We're racing to ensure that we're able to get the food supply that exists every season. You know? And that's where really all the strife that comes from. It comes from. Look here. I'm about to start fussing this spirit because it's coming on me. I'm about to partake in my vices, y'all. I'm a cigarette smoker. Don't do it, it kill you. You want to die, just wrap me up, cut my hair off, and pluck my nails off, and wrap me in a sheet and throw me in the ground. Uh, so I'm not trying to improperly influence. Oh, crapping this shit. Oh, excuse me. Okay, getting deep. I'm getting comfortable because getting deep. I'm getting deep. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me put my glasses on for a minute because I can't see nothing. I'm just running my mouth. Okay, let me see. Am I still live? I done lost the screen, did everything. I'll be gone sometime. Okay. Where am I at? Oh, crap. Let's spool it. Okay, what's wrong? Okay. Where was that? Not truly being at peace. Not feeling secure. Self-perseverance. Self-perseverance. There it is. Under Libra, self-perseverance. Not, you don't know if you truly attached to, it's no guarantee that what you attach to will, it doesn't ensure that you'll get what you need in order to like ensure self-perseverance is what it's saying in Libra. You're not sure what you attach to. And I was going to use the example of these different races and each of our move to ensure that our race survives. And no matter what tactic a race may use, this is on a micro level, it does not ensure, no matter what tricks any given race plays, that you still going to persevere. I think it's how I say it. I mean, and we know that, especially on an individual level. That's interesting to say that the masses know it even as a group. They try to fool themselves, but they said in the card saying even y'all know on a mass level as a group, whomever you may be, you already know it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be preserved. On a micro level, it's saying the same thing, that you ain't sure that you attached to that which will help you build or sustain the quality of life that you need to. That is to say, you don't know if you in connection with in the right relationship. Maybe you're in a relationship with somebody that steal everything from under your head or feet, out of your bank account, whatever. You don't know, or you might not be in the right relationship with somebody to procreate. Maybe they not what do you call it, fertile, or maybe they have messed up kids or something. You're not sure with this Four of Pentacles in reverse, but you are aware that we're all co-creating our experience. The next sign would be Scorpio, a spiritual reading. Scorpio, remember, is the only one that had a swords, only zodiac sign in this reading that had a swords card, and he stands alone, Scorpio. Now, Scorpio in astrology occupies the 8th house. The 8th house refers to other people's emotional response to our demands. I ask you to love me, and you say hell no, or you kick me down a flight of stairs. That's your Scorpio 8th house response. I ask you to save my life. If I get sick or something, then you do CPR. If you do CPR not on me if I need it, that's your Scorpio response to my demand. And it happens, of course, vice versa. And so the 8th house of Scorpio also talks about hidden aspects of our experience. It talks about things that be revealed or revelations to later occur. And it has this, again, this page of swords. Remember, it's talking to each one of us. It's talking to us as a whole. It's saying, hey, you have your ideas, your ideologies, and your concerns, whether you're an individual or a race, or you got all these complaints, basically, and don't nobody hear you. Don't nobody hear. Oh, don't nobody hear you. Don't nobody hear you. What am I saying here? I'm saying, okay, you want to complain, any given race, you put it, whatever label in there you want. You want to complain about whatever you complaining about. And then you wonder why ain't nobody else acting like they hear you. And you over there acting a fool, leaving crazy messages on everybody else's phone in the world because they ain't paying you no attention. Well, the cards thus far is talking about why the folks ain't paying you no attention. It's time for me to do Hillary's. It is time for me to do Hillary Clinton's birth chart because it's showing up is up in this area. Up in this area. I wonder what she doing. Must be significant. Must be significant. You wondering why? Ain't nobody listening to you. So what is this page of swords represent? It represents us feeling isolated, or what's the word? Alienated or ostracized. That our concerns are not important, and we're trying to fight to get our ideas heard, our messages heard, our needs heard. We're fighting to get people on deck to help us preserve our lives one way or another. Remember, what is this about? Because I'm just reading the cards that I hadn't read in the spiritual sense tone. It's saying, hey, February is the deadline for making a decision. If we gonna, what is it, integrate on this, in this earth, if humanity is going to integrate, I guess we got to get a concept of what integration would look like on such a mass level. We're talking about the integration of almost 8 billion people. Now, the common Jane or Joe, the people, I don't think have a concept of what it means to integrate. But I'm going to tell you who does. The powers that be do. Because they trying to get off a one world order. Or to totalitarian reign. So they have a concept. And what does it look like? It looks like AI governing everybody, tracking everybody. It looks like forced vax in order so that I think they tagging us all. Because that's another thing. Oh, it's a tag. Just spelled out. I mean, people been saying it. But the term, tag. They tagging us. Where did I learn that at? Let me stop. I got to think. Because I learned about tagging. Digital tagging. Where did I learn about digital tagging at? What point in my life? I learned about it's and I ain't heard. I mean, I'm hearing. We have all of these theories about these vax, and we understand the concept that these are attaching to our DNA. It's just that when I said that word tag, I remembered that in my schooling somewhere, and is digital tagging. So, and it's all this goes together because what? The powers understand that we have to integrate. They know. This is what I'm trying to get across to you. They know that we have to integrate. They know that the whole of humanity has to integrate. And there are people, the various races, that don't believe that we can integrate what they call or deem it kumbaya. And I don't think that integration is kumbaya, but it's saying that we can coexist, we can coexist successfully, and we do not have to partake in all the resources. But because society, because these various races, all these people have all these different ideas and ideologies and don't listen to rational thought because they're not intellectually, advanced. They not understanding what it means to integrate. And so since we can't understand it on an individual level or by races and do our part, each of the races do their part, whatever, because it's stuff at the end, it opens the door for total totalitarian, whatever it's called, totalitarian, totalitarian reign. One world order. It opens the door for that. Because again, all the astrological energies, the tarot is all saying you must integrate. And that's why they push them vax now. So they could digitally tag us. Makes sense, okay? Makes sense. That's why it was executed when it's been executed and pushed, and they want to hit this herd immunity. Because if it's saying it for February, we got to make the decision. They got to have that herd immunity or that herd digital tagging in place by end of February, March. Because actually something must be scheduled to happen on a spiritual level that's going to manifest in the physical come sometime March or afterwards. Shortly after. Gotta be. That's what it is. Okay. Anywho. Okay. So, alright. That's why ain't nobody hearing you. It says, okay. The Knight of Pentacles and is a position of Sagittarius. Let's talk about Sagittarius. Sagittarius talks about, okay, now you're going to do all this arguing and fighting in Scorpio. What you arguing and fighting about? You're arguing and fighting about the Sagittarius stuff. Your highest level of understanding and comprehension and awareness and intellect. Here's another division that occurs in humanity. There are people, powers, the elite, that have a more enhanced understanding about this realm and all that it consists of and what must be done and adhered to. Where the common Jane or Joe, when we start getting down to the individuals, get more dense, less aware, less consciousness, and more opinionated. More opinionated. When I say opinionated, I mean you don't have any facts or science or anything to back you. It's just opinion. You don't even understand how this world is run. Remember, it's a self-contained ecosystem. And a balance, in order for this realm to even exist, that self-contained ecosystem must stay balanced or in sync some way. If something is thrown off in one area, it's going to compensate in another area. This system, this realm is still self-contained, no matter even if it's some type of adjustment that takes place in this realm. And so this Knight of Pentacles talks about the self-contained ecosystem and the extent of one's awareness and intellect and the ability to be able to manage based on the facts or the science. And there's a lot of people that want to refute the science that we, that exist here. And many want to refute it and dismiss science. That's going back into the Gemini and the Temperance card. Well, gravity, no longer exists. But it did before. Gravity still exists as it did before. What we are really witnessing is understanding that man has been ordained with the authority to define this thing that when you step off an edge, something you fall, they got to give it a name. That's this Sagittarius energy. We got to go out there and give it a name. It's called what? Mass, time, velocity mean splat. We got to define that as gravity and energy and motion. That's what Isaac Newton or whoever did. You know what I'm saying? But people want to dismiss it. It's real. What we weren't lied to. You know what I'm saying? We just didn't totally comprehend what was being taught to us. Why? Because many of us are too elementary. Period. And so, why do we want to fight? Let me try to clarify. Doing a spiritual message now for all signs, all of humanity. They say, okay, you arguing and fighting and scrapping, trying to survive this realm. Some of you don't even understand this realm. You don't understand no aspects of the self-contained ecosystem, but yet you want to argue and fight, and you don't have a footing to stand on. Then there are other people that do know and understand this is a self-contained ecosystem. They understand the perimeters of it. They understand the contents of it, and they have defined it. They've given it formulas and every kind of thing to try to explain it. They didn't categorize it, catalog, broke it down. They done took it apart and put it back together. They know how to function. They have a ground to stand on. And so when they argue and say, hey, we need to take some vax. We need to digital tag you. Because we know, based on the messages that exist in a self-contained ecosystem, it's time to integrate. And since you less evolved, less educated, less aware people don't know how to do it on your own, you don't even believe it's supposed to be no form of government or nothing to reign over 8 billion people, then we gon' digital tag you. Who the hell is it? And I'm supposed to get up. See, now I got to get up from what I'm doing to go open the door because somebody else wanna. I was in the spirit. I was in the spirit. Now I'm about to come back down to earth and start cussing. Hold on. You have to wait a minute. Rush me. I'll be right back, y'all. Stay in the spirit. I'll be right back. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I'm live. Y'all can get all that noise. And I'm hungry. So what y'all gonna do? What you on? Be quiet. I'm live. I'm up here in another space in another place, and y'all coming here disturbing me. Why are you so quiet?
I've been quiet.
Shut up, Scrappy. Woo, Lord. Let me see, y'all. Woo. I got 2 flights of stairs. I done got my exercise in for the day. Oh, Lord. And I need some coffee. Hello. I'm tired. You laughing, I'm tired. See, being in the spirit don't require exercise. But them 2 flights of stairs require a lot of exercise and coordination. Too much. Okay. Still out there with all that noise. Okay. Let me get back on in the spirit. Finish this here. So what time is it? Oh, I'm going to have to do Hillary tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So you got these beliefs you're fighting over. You fighting over stuff, and you founding it, establishing on these beliefs. Some beliefs are real, some are not. The fictitious beliefs make you a sheeple. When you back your stuff by fictitious beliefs, make you a sheeple. But if you got the real beliefs, as the queen, the birth chart shows that the queen does, it's what it's myself in my birth chart. Then, well, I ain't got no power. Okay, then you got a foot in the stand on. The next card is in the position of Capricorn. And Capricorn, which is interesting, and I noticed this when I first laid this little spread out, is Capricorn is staring at Sagittarius, which represents the beliefs. So, talking about the 10th house of Capricorn, the 10th house of Capricorn in astrology represents the various works that we do in this world. It is your bio, like your autobiography, when you write about the story of your life and your works and your deeds and your duties and contributions to the world, or your bio. So I guess somebody else write it. It is usually about your career, your personal ambitions, your social reputation, and or social status or standing. So this queen is receptive, meaning paying attention to all the details. In this case, what details is the Queen of Cups paying attention to? Well, it's looking back at Sagittarius, at them beliefs, them philosophies. Some for real and some ain't. You know, some real and some fictitious. And it's looking at, okay, it's acknowledging, this Queen of Cups is acknowledging, if you got some fake, faulty beliefs that you're trying to ride or die on, guess what? You're going to die. You know, or you're going to be a sheep. That's what the Queen of Cups is receiving from that Sagittarius position. She's also receiving the information that, okay, if you got the real worldly beliefs, if you got the we can say the what do you call those books? Like, it's a handbook to the three-dimensional realm. We'll call it the handbook to the three-dimensional realm. Talking about understanding this self-contained ecosystem and all that it consists of, including the people. Queen of Cups is looking at that, saying, okay, if you got that, then you're going to lead. You're going to be supreme. You're going to be ahead. You know, you can actually make the changes necessary to sustain this realm, as well as, you know, the human form. She's saying that. She says, once you understand, well, the queen, remember, the cups represents, the cup that the queen holds represents that which you have the potential to attach to ultimately have an impact upon your emotional state. So if you are a person that does not have real viewpoints, beliefs, philosophies, etc., to govern you, then what are you most likely to attach to? What? Death or being a sheeple. On the other side, on the flip side of that coin, it says, if you are a person that literally has the true rules to this realm, you have the correct viewpoints and ideologies, then, cup, what are you more likely to attach to? What? The rulership, the one world order, the power, the totalitarian reign. That's what you can attach to based on you what you actually possess. And that's what the Capricorn means. And it says, as a Capricorn, in the Capricorn position, it's talking about, okay, once you have that, you also have to have a social standing. You got to have expertise in some area of the world. This is what the tarot cards is saying to humanity today. You have to have some social standing. Meaning, example, if, let's see, I mean, there's so many different areas a person can become an expert in. But let's say you can't make a change if you don't know what to do practically. An example of this is like when I be talking about and fussing about how I don't know about internet and using being able to harness and use waves and frequencies in order to allow us to have, you know, communications over the air, images over the air, that kind of thing. But a physicist does, you know, because that's a part of their bio. What did they do to become a physicist? And so the cards are saying, okay, you, person out of the humanity, what is your social role? What is your social status? What is your career? What has been your career path? Keep it with my example. Well, I'm a physicist. I took all of these, how many other classes and what kind of classes I had to take. I understand this realm to this extent. And I know, based on what I have come to see, my view about it is if I do this, this, and this, I can create the internet. So I can do what? Make the world move. I can move to make the world move. I can move to create, build, or sustain something in particular. Do you get what I'm saying? This is what the cards are saying. And so back to what I was saying earlier, trying to pull us together. February is the month that we make the final decision about if we're going to integrate or not. That is to say, if the world's population is going to integrate. I'm saying that the people with lower consciousness does not understand what that looks like to integrate on a mass level. But the powers do. And the powers do is because of their area of work, like in physics and sociology and different things like that. They understand the self-contained ecosystem. They know what it's beckoning for or demanding at this time, and they know how to bring it about. The problem is, and why we haven't been able to stop them from doing so, is because we don't know how to do it ourselves. This is a time period that humanity must integrate. It ain't no question, should we? Could we? it says, based on these systems that I'm studying, that we must integrate for this system to continue to evolve. You know, and we had, obviously, at some point in time, had the option to do it ourselves, but we did not. When I say we, I'm talking about humanity. The various sectors and segments and races, we had the opportunity, obviously, at some point to do it, and we did not. That time may have been even before I was born, because I'm not seeing anything. Because this has kept being my concern, and the question I keep raising to the forces, to the invisible entities, it's like, hey, well, I'm not seeing nothing that I can do. Show me what I can do now, and I'm not seeing it. That's something that hasn't come up for me. So I do believe that the opportunity for humanity to have done it themselves, which is integrate, has come and gone. I hope that makes sense. Spiritual message. It's come and gone. The reason why I think these powers, these ethereal entities keep speaking to humanity, like through tarot and astrology, is because, okay, even if the time has come and gone for humanity to figure out how to integrate themselves, it still hasn't changed that the time period is here that we must integrate in order to keep this system going. This system was created very unique, and this point in time, due to the various distortions made to it, the species on it, namely humans, have to integrate so that this system could continue to go and run, even though it may be somewhat distorted or recalibrated. And so the powers do know of all of these details, and so they are doing that. So these entities keep speaking to us, humanity, now to say, okay, y'all couldn't do it. And so now prepare. You're about to enter in a phase in which only a few set up a procedure, a process for humanity to integrate. And it's going to occur because you couldn't do it in the time frame that was allotted to you. And so it's just telling us to prepare, to get ready. It's letting us know what it's going to consist of. It's letting us know, remember, when I did that 6-hour video, if you follow me, it talked about this time for opportunity cost or loss. So we are getting prepared for the loss. And so now we're able to identify the losses that are about to take place. And we see them in the United States, well, worldwide, but most recently in the United States, people are fighting for titles, labels, maintain their liberties, such as privacy. No, privacy is, remember, cost loss. One of the losses, because we couldn't do it, and the powers got to do it because they are aware. One of the losses is our liberty. One of the liberties is privacy. Gone. Gone. What's been tripping me out in my works is all of these concepts and themes I've been hearing about. We all have been hearing about. This is what it's been about. This is the whole entire story that was taking place. Whether it was religion, in any particular sector of our social construct, this was the whole total story that was playing out. And this story has been unfolding for hundreds, even thousands of years. And now that we're here, we are the residual effects of what our ancestors did in the past. It was a time in the history of humanity that our ancestors were confronted with integration, and they could not. And so now we're living out their failures. Our losses of our liberties don't begin now. They began then. Okay, so now what can we do at this point in time for the future? That's what we got to start thinking about. That's what you think about. And so I'm going to have to go into my private space and do a little meditation to see exactly what it is suggesting that we, at this point in time, can contribute to the future. Because what our grandkids and great-grandkids and stuff will live out is a result of what we do today. We can't stop this transition. It said opportunity, cost, loss. The deadline is February. February. So y'all got any? I guess we got this a couple of days. Well, 30 days. Do we have an idea of how we can integrate? The powers are showing us. Is it necessary? You know, for humanity to integrate that we have to be digitally tagged? Is that absolutely necessary? You mean to tell me that this is what it's saying? If we have to be digitally tagged and managed or herded by the powers, that suggests that the people, the various segments of humanity, cannot self-govern themselves. They cannot. That is to say, you cannot stop yourself from hating another to the extent that you can't be cordial. You can't be cordial. I mean, and this is the whole thing. It's not just about each race. It goes in. It's so micro that it gets down into each race itself, each culture, like issues that in the black culture, issues in the white culture, issues in the Indian culture, whatever. So we're talking about something again that's been being unfolded for thousands of years. But again, we got 30 more days out of a couple of thousand years. We got 30 more days or so. 30 more days. So what do we need to understand? Number one, that there is a need, obviously, for some form of governance. And that's so we can organize the people, not for them to control the people. See, that's what we're moving into. Since they realize we not getting it, we don't understand what's been taking place, how long it's been taking place, and what's been going on. This is a system upgrade in this realm. It's a system upgrade. It's not an upgrade, but an adjustment due to the distortions we made. We threw things off, and so the system is recalibrating itself. We have to integrate, and since we couldn't get that, the powers know that. So once again, I say once again because it's not the first system upgrade. I'll call it system upgrade that we've gone through in the millions of years that this realm has existed. But once again, as always, there's a part of society that ends up being the physical worldly powers because they have understanding, intellect, clarity. A system upgrade happened in the 1930s during that Great Depression. That was a mandatory change had to take place because of what had transpired thus far in the timeline and history of humanity. And here we go. Here's what 70, 90 years later, another one is happening. Another one is happening. And that's as a direct result of what they call industrial engineering, or not industrial, yeah, industrial engineering. And now we're doing this technical stuff. So we upgrading to include that too. I don't know if it's making sense. But what am I talking about right now? I'm talking about we have 30 days, literally, for humanity to figure out how to integrate successfully. Otherwise, it all goes into the hands of the powers. Period. And remember the loss. The loss is one of them is our freedom. Our freedom of privacy. And again, that takes a lot of pulling in all the information that's been shared with us to see what we will be losing. Yeah. 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 And the day is going to come that they're even going to start regulating the number of births, just like in is it China, that can occur each year and in each culture. So those are the losses that we're going to have. I see you one, two. You in here late. You in here late, but you're in here. Okay. So what I'm doing, one, two, is I did a reading. It was more advanced. I was listening to spirit when I first started. And it led me into something more advanced. And so I read for all 12 signs, a little something, something. And as usual, there's a spiritual message behind the reading to all people of the world. That is to say, all zodiac signs. And so I've just been talking about the power one has garnered for themselves when they have increased in intellect and as well as have educated themselves in some area or field that has to do with this realm. The next card is the Judgment card. And the Judgment card says this is the time. Um, this is the appointed or ordained time for a decision to be made. And the decision is what? Will we integrate or won't we? And humanity thus far has shown that they can't do it on their own. Because that's a whole nother video I like to go into. But I have to build myself to it. That's what takes so long for me when I started Aquarius rants and stuff. I had to build to it and get in that spirit and start riding away. But, you know, to just say that we haven't been able to do it. And talking about being down to the last 30 days out of thousands of years. You know, so, you know, the decision has to be made. So in us not being able to do so, it is a decision. And the decision suggests that we give our power away to the worldly powers and allow them to integrate us in the way that they deem fit and go through the process that they deem need to be, you know, the process needs to be taken. And we'll cover all of humanity. And we also, the judgment says that we accept the losses, such as our privacy and different other things we considered as liberties and freedoms and stuff. So that's what the judgment card means. And then the last card was the Four of Wands. And I really hate to see that card as the last card. Because, you know, let me say, I didn't say that this is the 11th house of Aquarius. 11th house of Aquarius talking about the various sectors associated with the diversity in humanity, whether it's your race, your creed, your religion, or whatever. And it's saying have to make a decision. The collective, the almost 8 billion people in the world have to make a decision. Or just in the United States, over 311 million people have to make a decision. We have 30 days, 30-something days. What's the day? About 35 days. But since we didn't make it, and I doubt if we're going to make it, the powers have made it. Opportunity cost loss. Understood now. And the last card, I was going to say I hate seeing it in this position, is the position of Pisces, which is the 12th house. And the 12th house talks about everything that we've talked about thus far. All of these experiences, all of not knowing peace, all of having these pains and these tears and trying to supplement these, you know, this void that we all have to some extent with material goods and gains, and, you know, not being able to maintain the balance, because we do have to access some material goods and gains to keep us alive. But, you know, we kind of gone overboard to fill a void. You know, we've been traumatized and we act like it don't exist. We got partnerships around us that we have, you know, that we continue to entertain because we ain't got nothing better. And that's the only thing we got to make us feel better. All these experiences I done talked about. Every last one of them. The 12th house of Pisces says because of all that happened, cause and effect, there's a schedule. It's very specific, scheduled or predetermined scenarios, cases, what do they call it? How would I say? I usually say it. Circumstances, situations, scenario, and cases that will manifest in the physical. It's talking about the manifestation that comes into being in reality in our future as our future starts to unfold. It's the Four of Wands in reverse. Remember, it talks about this environment where we're not quite comfortable. Not quite comfortable. So we won't be comfortable with what the powers have established for us as the new world order. We're not going to be comfortable with the Pisces. We're not going to be comfortable not having our privacy. We're not going to be comfortable with the frequency. A couple of years ago, man, I wish I had known this here journey I was going to be on. Because a couple of years ago, it said you won't even you recognize reality. This is about 4 years ago. You won't recognize reality when it's done if you don't do something. It was telling us here to do something. But that's what I didn't. I'm going to tell y'all, over this whole journey since I've been here on YouTube, I ain't even going to include what I was into before YouTube, because it was more selfish. It was much more selfish before I got on YouTube. It was much more selfish. I was more interested in my world, how to get paid, trying to get justice for me thinking I'm righteous and other people wasn't. So it was much more selfish. Everything was much more selfish. But this journey that I was on since I was on YouTube, and it's interesting because I'm not going to go off into a rant completely. But how that which is much wiser than hey, can I get some coffee, please? Since y'all broke my stride, I got to put a guilt trip on. They call it the what they call them what's the Sicily women, Italian women, put the guilt on them. I'm borrowing y'all stuff, but they ain't listening to me. But yeah, it's just amazing. Sometimes life seems so real to me. Spirituality seems so real to me because this journey, looking back at it in retrospect now, because I always tell y'all, when you dealing with spiritual stuff, most times when you in it, you don't know that you in it. You don't know you walking in spirit. You don't know, sometimes it just get outright blunt and you know it. Other times it's like riding a wave. It's just like riding away and you don't know it. So all them years I can see now since I started YouTube, I was riding the wave the whole time. And I'm just, in this last year, I'm starting to realize it because all the messages that when I very first started, I was so scared. I started with the tarot. I didn't have the scenery set the way I wanted it to. I got comfortable in front of the camera. And I remember I had a little box. I said, I'm going to show the people the cards. Put it on the box. I said, okay, I got to advance. This ain't even my style. So I kind of advanced myself a little more. Start making the scenes and stuff. I said, okay. I said, do I feel really comfortable enough to tell these people that I hear spirits and see spirits and stuff? So what can they do? And plus I had gotten used to, remember I said, all my life I kept buying tape recorders, books. I kept trying to write my life, my story, my experiences, the gang stalking, the Mandela effects. And I never could just preserve my message by those mediums. I even did painting. I still had the paintings and considering throwing them out now. I'm tired of looking at them because they're a part of me now. I mean, they've always been a part of me, my paintings. I didn't just, they were part of my spiritual experience. So I know them in here. But it was fun, putting them on canvas. It was really fun expressing my spiritual experiences and the energies that I engaged with on canvas and seeing how that transferred. But I'm trying to say, that whole journey I see now, again, I'm disappointed because it did not benefit me. I still was being selfish, and I see it. That's what's great. I know this is an Aquarius rant. After I end this one, I'm gonna just click so it won't be public no more. But I am impressed, and I am humbled because I see spirit had moved in my life that whole time, and I didn't feel per se the absence of spirit, because I've been where, and I just shared a video of a lady testifying to the absence of spirit in your life. And when I heard her testify, I know she was real because I've been there. So I didn't feel like the absence of spirit in my life. It's just that it didn't take when spirit has dealt with me throughout my life. I've gone through different, I guess, educations or trainings. And when spirit, I say he, just in general, but when spirit was dealing with me about prosperity, it was all about prosperity. And so coming from where I've come from, as far as family and my relations and relative to the streets, it was like our prosperity. I deserved it, like it was mine. It was arrogant. It was ego. Okay, time came, took all that to homelessness and everything. So I understood, but I'm seeing what I'm trying to say. I see how big and atrocious and nasty and self-seeking my ego is. I do see that, and I also see how, again, over the course of my experience here on YouTube, how again spirit was walking me and educating me, and allowing me to record like I always wanted to, my experiences and to share them. You know, oh, shut up, Scrappy. Hoping that it can help people. I hate that it's the threat that one day, YouTube won't be here, that my videos won't be available. And I'm not saying that from an arrogant place, but I always wanted them logged. So if I ever needed them, I could go to them. If my kids ever need them, they could go to them. And now, knowing that there's people out here in the world that actually have had the same experiences or similar experiences as myself or concerns, hey, if you can find me, you can tap into them. So again, I'm so humbled by that, and I think me being able to see Spirit walking in my life and moving in my life has become much more clear over the last year, even up to this moment, because this messages that I'm getting now is accumulation of everything that Spirit had walked me for these last 5 or 6 years. You know, at one time I had people on here talking about, yo, channel don't make no sense. You are all over the place. You rambling. I'm like, yeah, okay, y'all see, I ain't never beef with nobody. I think I started beefing with a troll one time, and they went ahead. They must have felt my vibration. But I was like, I ain't on here to beef with nobody, but I'm up here listening to something y'all can't hear, and I'm just doing what I'm instructed to do. And there's been times I told y'all I was instructed to do something, and I didn't do it. And there was a time right before the corona when I got on the video. I was like, I was instructed to do some stuff on the lungs, and this is right before the corona, maybe about 4-5 months for the corona. I ain't doing that. I ain't getting no. My ego was in the way, and then hot dang, a few months later, 4 to 6 months later, here come the corona, and it's a whole lung inflammation thing. And so Spirit had been talking to me when that happened. I was like, oh wow, he did tell me that. And I was like, y'all got the images. I can't show y'all the inside of my computer. So all these things right now, I'm in the middle of reflecting upon and seeing how all those different messages and being, compelled to share my stories and stuff, all is accumulative now. Or what's it called? Cumulative. So I don't feel alone right now. I feel like I'm literally in the presence of God. This is how you look when you're in the presence of God. With a cigarette in my hand. A cigarette in my hand, a drink in my hand. But I feel like I'm in the presence of God, and that He's moving. And I say that because I know that, or it seems to me, that as a direct result of our most recent unfolding, life experiences, everything from the vid to the vax to the run on Washington, just everything from what his name was, the one that just left here, Trump, to Bill Gates, the Fauci, everything, that people are very afraid and they are worried. And I mean, they don't, and then loss of business, employment. I don't feel like I can honestly say that I'm just living this message. I don't think we're alone. I do not think we are alone. I want to say that I knew everything is going to be okay, but it's always a catch-22 when you say everything gonna be okay. And I'm not the one that want to lie to you. I can promise you this: everything is gonna be okay. But it's that being okay part that I can't give you the details on. It's gonna be okay though. Like I'm gonna give you an example, and I've talked about this before. In times past, it all comes together. Is that what does it mean to be okay? Well, let's talk about one of the requisites so I can make this concept make sense. It is required that you consume food in order to sustain your life. We talked about it. You can live upwards of about 3 weeks or so without eating any food. And what did I say, about 10 days without drinking any water, fluid. Or you shall begin to starve to death and end up dying from malnutrition, right? But it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay if you get a piece of bread every 2 weeks to sustain your life. It's going to be okay even if you don't get a crumb of bread over 3 weeks, nor a drop of water. It's going to be okay. As an example, you would go through the process. The whole process it take to literally starved to death of malnutrition. I know that don't sound like good news to you, but it's a difference between the physical and the spirit. You're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping, because I'll be kicking it with God like I talked to y'all, that we don't ever have to go to that extremity. But I'm saying either way, whatever it ends up being, whatever ends up manifesting, we're going to be okay. That's what I do know for sure. And I'm not going to hold y'all no more. I know I took a long time with this tarot reading. I just got really emotional with this reading because I realized, and again, in retrospect, all of us went together, realized that I was being walked as usual in my life and guided by spirit. And I'm a hot mess. See, I'm a hot mess. It's all right though. We'll all be okay, y'all. It's gonna be all be okay. Now, what I'm gonna do? What time is it? I wait. I started so late. I want to do Hillary so bad, but I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. Uh, and everybody can be fresh and new, and I can go ahead and just go and be with spirit right now, and just talk through it and be very thankful, because I'm humble right now. I'm gonna start cussing and fussing tomorrow because that's what I do. That's what I do.